this.
Hey, we got numbers.
Hey, it's the Cleveland Moto Podcast, episode number 488. Light them up, boys.
All right.
Mine's been pre-lit.
A couple minutes.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, look at that. We got very professional setup tonight, Sleepy.
Thank you. We're working on it.
Mm-hmm.
We know nobody's here right now, but we're just as our test for the new scenario.
Right.
We're building,
Checking it out.
We're building.
Good system, new system.
Should
I got the YOLO Live going.
Yeah.
The YOLO Live Pro.
We should have some
Very
some
cool.
audio, now board audio. for
Straw
everybody to
Dog
listen
says
to.
hi, Mackle Fresh.
Yay, Straw Dog. Very cool.
I'm seeing the live chat, but I'm not seeing the video on my phone.
You will be shortly.
I'm seeing both now. You might have to restart it.
Okay.
Yep.
Restart it.
Yeah, I think we're good now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm very happy we're embracing the technology. Looking all cool.
And for everybody at home listening, what are you drinking right now?
Yeah, exactly. Because we'll go around the table. Your humble narrator, Phil Waters. I'm drinking Yingling's Cheers to the Stars and Stripes, supporting America's veterans. That's the lager. And to my immediate left is
Dan Kropke, I'm drinking the Schwarzbier from Noble Beast.
yeah, right on. I got my fill of that on my last tour. I very much enjoy the Schwarzbier. To his left,
Steve Sleepy,
what you drinking there, Sleepy?
Gator juice.
That stuff scares me. That scares me. That scares me. That is cannabis
No. It's
No
just-
alcohol?
Yeah, no alcohol.
and just a little green, little pleasure of the green, right?
Apparently so.
And to his immediate left,
Johnny Mac.
you tucking into some chili there, John?
Yeah, you usually time it perfectly. You like whenever as soon as I take a bite of something, you're like, and yeah. Or you'll ask me a question. I got you.
Perfectly set up. And to his immediate left,
Chris Smith, and I am also enjoying one of Dan Kropke's Noble Beast Schwarzbiers.
Schwarzbier. And then behind the bar,
Tom Pennington,
Tom, what you drinking tonight, buddy?
Glutenberg Red.
Glutenberg.
Yep.
Those are good.
What was the name of the concert you decided to not go to
Oh,
tonight?
actually, it was Cracker.
Oh, it was Cracker.
Wow.
A
It's,
kerosene hat?
Yeah. No, Camper Van Beethoven's Countryside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I saw them about 6-7 years ago.
I did too. And
It wasn't-
when I walked, Becky's like, "You're not going to that. It's freezing cold. Everything else on that podcast."
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, I'll think about it." And then I walked out of the shop because I've been in the back all day, and I walked out. My car was covered in snow again because it's coming down good.
it's doing it.
And I was like, "No, no, we're not doing that."
I completely understand.
That's the Cleveland effect.
It is the Cleveland effect. Yeah, super strong Cleveland.
It was
effect.
in Lakewood or something. I'd say, yeah, okay, maybe, but going over to what is it, East 150th?
Yes.
But if
Which-
you were in New Orleans,
Oh,
you would have been there.
well. So it's freezing cold in New Orleans right now. That's probably
Wait a minute.
There's
Wait
a
a minute.
cold front. No,
Define freezing.
okay, so it's in New Orleans. It's 100% humidity all the time. Doesn't matter what it says. It's 100%. So it's like sleepy. It's like walking into soup when you get off the airplane.
The first time I ever went there, I got out of the airport, the doors opened, and I thought somebody slapped me in the face with a wet towel.
So is it 17 degrees down there?
So it's like 40. If it's in the 40s, it feels like it's 20. So, but on top of that, my old house was literally insulated with dead roaches.
There was no insulation in that
Yeah.
house. No, man. I tell you what, I slept in that house. There was zero insulation. You could get a 15-mile-an-hour wind going down
and
your
you could
hallway.
feel it, yeah.
Very cold
And
house.
I had like a toaster oven that would heat the house.
Yeah.
So if you weren't home before the sun went down, it was 20 degrees inside the house.
I can concur, man. I absolutely can confer. Very much not the place you want to be when it's cold outside.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Yep.
No, his particular house.
Oh,
man.
yeah, that too.
Yeah, because you want to sleep. You don't want to sleep in 42-degree
Oh,
weather.
no.
Yeah.
You bundle up a sleeping bag.
It was not great. Yeah, that was no fun. The very much a chilly night. So I was very
we playing the lottery?
what's going on over there?
Calm down. I'm just trying to get
okay.
the live feed up.
Oh.
I touched something and-
Okay, all right.
We're so commercialized here.
It's not like-
You're going to get a fucking commercial every
Yeah,
time
I
you
was gonna
want
say, right? Yeah, right.
Somebody's got to be making money off of this shit, you know?
Yeah, it's that thing. We feel terrible for our friends out in the West Coast. All of our friends.
Oh,
I've got
God.
many friends in that area of Los Angeles that are just literally heading for the hills.
Now
Such
they're
a
heading away from the hill.
well, different hills, right? So an area that's larger than the size of Manhattan, to put that in perspective for you guys, an area that is more acres than Manhattan has been burned, and I mean burned to the ground.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of homes. This is going to have massive long-term impact.
Oh yeah,
massive long-term.
When we were in Napa over the summer, there's still a bunch of scarring on the hillside, everything else. But the fire plan they implemented after the fires a couple of years ago is insane. And if LA doesn't do the same thing, I'll be surprised.
It's a whole thing, and I feel terrible for all the people that are out there that are dealing with that, because a lot of people 3-4 months ago, State Farm canceled their insurance.
Yeah.
And how does it feel to be paying for insurance for the past 25 years? 4 months ago, they cancel your insurance.
I mean, that's been the entire Gulf Coast too.
Yeah.
Florida and Louisiana and
It
Mississippi
is
and Alabama.
no bueno, man.
Well, Tom, when you guys weren't here, me and Tom were talking as I was setting up, and he made a mention, like, think about how many millions of dollars a home is, but like there's no way insurance could probably pay. Like how often does like a whole neighborhood of $1 billion homes burn?
It seems.
Yeah.
Well, it
very
doesn't,
unlikely.
you know, on the other hand, the insurance companies also buy reinsurance to cover their ass
Exactly.
if they're overextended. So at the end of the day, the good news is that the incoming administration will crack down on these businesses to make sure that they take care of the little man.
Well,
Oscar Rue says, dang, looks professional. Like the intro. Wesley Witt, shout out to you. Hello, gentlemen.
Woo.
Milk, water.
I've been drinking milk and water.
Well, he said milk. Oscar Rue said water. Rock and Rattle Retreat. Evening, gentlemen. Thanks for the reminder of the show. Coda
Nice.
Clutch says, hey, yo.
Right on.
Joe Bonesteel. That's
Bonesteel, man. Yeah.
Bonesteel greetings
like Mr.
from
Bonesteel.
snowy Ann Arbor.
Yes. Snowy Ann Arbor, indeed.
Yeah. And Wesley Witt said, when I moved to Louisiana, I had to learn how to breathe in the summer.
I have been losing. I was joking about this the other day. I have been losing my gills. I've been up here so long, my nose is so dry.
Hegdal Racing's with us.
Oh, yeah. Great. Very cool. Yeah. We got a nice crew out there tonight. Very exciting. The one of our favorite things, we've got a bunch of stuff coming up. We got a bunch of events coming up. Garage Brewed Motorcycle Show is happening. It's going to be Saturday. If you're anywhere within a day's travel of Cincinnati, you're going to want to make sure to go to Rheingeist Brewery. You're going to want to make sure to go to Garage Brewed Motorcycle Show. Talk to the Speed Clams. Go find Shannon.
I was pumped, and then I looked, and I got to work.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm like, I'm going to go to that. I need to go to something.
I have
Who here is going?
At this point, I'm gonna have to fly solo.
No, I'm gonna go. I'm definitely
Cinch is going?
Yeah, I'll go.
Tom, you going?
I gotta look. I'm actually going back to New Orleans the week after that. So, I don't know
that's
if
a
I'm
no.
going or not.
Yeah, but nobody wants to go with Tom. So
That's true.
Well,
I'd go with you, Tom.
What
but
I
have
can
to
tell
work.
you is
No,
I'm
you
not
wouldn't.
going because I have a preset date with
Yeah.
Dr. Waters. We're going skiing, so we'll be in Holiday Valley. So we're out, baby. We're out. That's just it's
Take
just
my daughter with you. I
long
feel
and
bad.
short of it is. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'm sure she'd love sharing a hotel room with me and Dr. Waters. No, she would not.
She'll be 18 January. January 24.
She would not like that. She
No.
would not like that at all.
No.
But that is one of those things. Like, I'm sad I'm missing it because I absolutely do love the Garage Brewed Motorcycle Show. Best motorcycles you're going to see, and always different stuff. That is a very cool curated show. I completely dig it.
We'll expect a report back from Greg Castillo, or remote reporter Greg Castillo.
Yeah, Greg Steele can come in and give us the after action review by all means. He's the man for the job too. I'm sure he'll have the sexiest possible mini bikes out there. He always does a great damn job.
All right, Cinch, I'll go with you.
There you go.
There you go.
See there?
Good.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's
I say we go, we hit it,
power.
say hi, do what we got to do,
Yeah.
come back home.
Buzz back. I'm
not
with you,
try to
baby.
sleep down there. Yeah.
Nah,
Round
I'm
trip.
with you, baby.
nah. I mean, if the Mexican restaurant that was by the hotel was just a little bit better,
They only did one thing
If it
good. And that
didn't
was
give us food poisoning. Yeah.
they only did one thing good. They served underage. That was clearly what that place was
Oh,
known
Yeah,
for.
if you did need a place to crash, Don Slicker's down there. He would, you know what I
Yes.
mean? He would
Yeah,
easily
but-
put you up. He's got a decent place.
Yeah, there's
Well,
a
that's true.
yeah for the 3.5 hour round trip or whatever.
Yeah, it's not
3.5
too bad.
hours that it takes to get there. It's not the worst.
Nah.
Yeah.
Worst part's coming back. Would you have to come back to Columbus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you'll be late in the evening.
Yeah.
Hegdal Racing said hello, and he's announcing the birth of his son.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, that's badass.
We got a name?
Got a new rider.
Sven.
Sven?
Sven Hegdahl. Of course
That would be a good
That
name.
makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And Coda Clutch says, greetings from snowy South Dakota.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, very much snowy South
That's not even
Dakota.
as cold as New Orleans.
Let's see here. When,
Well, greetings from snowy ass 9-degree Ohio.
oh,
Well,
no
that's
kidding.
true. Yeah, we've been just getting the chill.
Killian Frere is his name.
Oh, really?
F-R-
Killian?
Oh,
There you go.
Killian with a C or with a K?
With a K.
K.
All right.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's a powerful name.
Freer, Freyr. Freer.
Fantastic.
Frere.
That's a good name, man.
so Chris, your answer is it feels like 37 degrees in New Orleans right now.
Feels like. There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But imagine it being 37 degrees in this room.
Yeah,
That's
well,
my
Yeah,
house.
it's been 37 down here before.
what did they say? There's no such thing as bad weather, just the wrong equipment.
That's true.
Yep.
Wrong outfit.
That's all there is, man. That's all you get. Anybody want to
That's
buy?
true.
Anybody want to buy Neil Peart's R1200 GS?
Yes.
You do.
I love fucking, I would buy a Neil Peart thing if I don't have any money.
It's
so-
out there. I mean, it's a thing. It exists. It's out there being for sale.
What is
So-
he? Is he selling it?
I don't know.
Yeah, from the grave.
From the grave, right? Exactly.
Just say, wait
He's
a
got
minute.
one last thing to do.
Oh, but I read all his books, man. Like
Yeah.
I know like his feelings on that bike.
Yeah.
If I was a rich guy, that would be like the one thing I would put in my living room to just sniff the seat once in a while.
I don't think they'll have any trouble selling it, do you?
No.
You're rich in many ways, just not in cash.
I mean,
Yeah, right.
it's a red R1200 GS. It's going through Mecum, so it's going to be like
Oh, $100 grand.
a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
right. It's
Well, they
going to
just-
be.
Yeah.
What year?
Oh,
It's
I
like
don't
an
know.
R1200?
99 or something like that. It's old. It's
How
a
many miles are on it?
2004.
How many miles are on it? Have the bells been
Carbureted?
done? Does it have new tires?
Oh no, it's got damage.
Is it rad ready?
It's got damage.
Can I ride it back to California?
You probably, yeah, right. They
We-
said the estimated starting bid is going to be between 40 and 50 grand.
yeah, you're just paying
So
for his
40
name.
and 50 grand. You're just
Exactly.
paying for the name.
Can you
That's it.
disassemble it and mail it to me piece by piece?
Can you find the point on the bike where Neil Peart signed it? I don't know if he
It's
did.
But
on
I
the
just-
chain.
I would just
That's-
think like reading the books, like I've read them several times
Right.
because he was a beautiful writer. Like he really puts you there and you feel like you're on the trip.
Ah.
It would be neat to have like look over and be like, wow,
That's
was-
his bike.
That's the bike that I'm reading about.
There you go.
And I'm not usually a material like I don't have anything I put on shelves to go,
Buy
ooh,
it.
you know. But,
Buy it.
yeah,
If it's going to
yeah.
open at 50K, I think you're absolutely right. It's probably going to be a 100K sale.
easy because
That
they're
is
a big
right.
enough band. That's a worldwide. That's not like a regional like.
And
Hey,
you,
they're cool in New Jersey. Like
Right.
that's a big.
How much Patreon money do we have?
and you could have somebody like Ewan McGregor or somebody who's in a band
what?
who
You know what,
like oh, I want Neil Peart.
For
Yeah.
$3,000, I'll forge his signature and put it on mine, and you can buy it.
or like
yeah.
a Hall of Fame or a museum.
I don't
So,
want to sniff your seat.
Are you going to
dude.
be going? So who's ready to bid against Johnny Depp?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's ready to bid against, George Clooney? Who's ready to bid against
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves? Right.
Natalie Portman.
Right. There you go. Right. Who wants to bid against people that are for whom $100,000 means very little?
Billy Strings.
Is it a charity auction?
It's Mecum, dude.
Which charity is
I know.
Mecum?
Yeah, but
It's a profit
even,
auction.
but even at Mecum, like people
Right.
auction things at Mecum and give
Yeah.
the money to a charity.
Yeah, the
I-
$100 that's left over after Mecum takes their cut.
I'm looking at
Tough
it
guy.
right now, and it doesn't look like.
So somebody got it and somebody's selling it.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think somebody got it and somebody's selling it, because what I will tell you is you're right that this would be a perfect opportunity for it to be, Mecum, right? But Mecum's doing a great thing, and we're giving money to charity through Neil Peart Foundation or whatever. And that's all missing from this story.
Yeah, right. No.
And that would be the lead.
Yeah.
You'd be straight up like, yes, step one, day one.
Well, I mean, he had a kid. He had a wife.
The
No,
money's
his
going to
wife
charity.
died, so maybe it's his kid. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, it comes with drumsticks and a map of Ontario.
Did
Yeah.
he did he even own it before he died? Maybe he got rid of it before he died or something.
I do not know.
It got repossessed.
I think that was his bike that he rode like after his wife his daughter. I'm sorry, his daughter died and his wife. So I think they split up because his daughter died going to college, and he took off on like an 80,000-mile ride.
Oh God.
Sleepy, can you do the thing?
Yeah. What do you want?
I just threw it up on my screen. I don't know if you can see it on my screen.
Want to go full? We'll go full.
Yeah,
There
you
you go.
see it. Yeah, that's the bike.
Nice.
So that's the machine. The it comes with the the saddle boxes, comes with the big aluminum boxes, comes with the tank bag, comes with an Ontario map, comes with some drumsticks, Yeah. So that's his motorcycle. So if you want to have a 2004 BMW GS1200 that was owned by Neil Peart for, a super long time, that's the way to do it.
Looks pretty
Mecum auction.
pretty normal, not tatted up or anything.
It does look like a normal motorcycle, right? There's nothing about it. It's like, hey, look, there's Neil Peart's motorcycle. Rush.
Well, I think that was his point. He
Right.
said one of the reasons he liked to ride is because when he had the helmet on, he was just every man.
Yeah, he's just
You know?
invisible.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is. So there you have it. That's pretty cool. That's kind of a fun thing. That was not part of our homework, by the way. So just wanted to throw that out there. Just thought that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I
I enjoyed that. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a bonus, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't part of our homework. What is part of our homework, though, because I was talking to a customer about their bike, and their bike is kind of old, and their bike runs an AC lighting circuit, right? So their bike runs an AC lighting circuit, and he called up and he said, hey, I got a situation. Every time I pull up to a red light, the lights go so dim you can't see them. Headlight and tail light. And I think we've all been there.
Mm-hmm.
If you own an older motorcycle, if you own an older dirt bike, if you own an ATC or a quad, you're probably getting the lighting straight off the AC on the stator. And that's probably where your lighting's coming. So at lower volts, remember those AC systems, they're nominally operating at 6 volts, right? And this lighting is very, very unreliable. So as luck would have it, the fine folks over at Rick's Motorsport Electrics have come up with a really slick, and I mean, this is super slick, DC conversion unit. And this DC conversion unit is its standalone voltage regulator that you plug in. It's only got 3 wires, and you plug it in and you end up with rock solid 12 volt DC electronics. Very, very impressive, because you don't need a battery. This is running what we used to say constant loss. You don't need to add a battery to your machine. You can hook this up to your old ATV. You can hook this up to your old quad, your old 3-wheeler, your old mini bike, or your old dirt bike. I've got 5 or 6 motorcycles in my garage right now that this would benefit. Not to mention, if you're a vintage Vespa or vintage Lambretta folks, this would be a very, very cheap way for you to be able to run LED headlight, LED tail light, and get rid of that AC system and have constantly good, powerful, bright lighting.
You could run a 12 volt coil too.
This is genius. This is a regulator rectifier with a capacitor built in. So this is taking the place of adding a battery.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You might want to add a battery with this, so you have a buffer. You know,
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
I did.
This
one
comes. This is how this shows up.
I did one on a Honda a while ago,
Mhm.
like 10 years ago, because they've offered something like this for a while,
Not
and had to put
this.
a
right.
and had to put a battery in the system.
According to Rick's, this is fresh. This is new. I was very, very impressed by this. And also, when I think about a lot of the bikes that I run around on, that might be like, if you've got an old Suzuki 185, if you've got an old Suzuki 125 that you're using as a street bike, but we all know that when you come to that red light, the guy behind you can't see you. When you're coasting up to that red light, you might as well be invisible.
Yeah.
I've had cops pull me over and just like, you got no brake light. I'm like,
Even-
oh, I got a brake light. You just got to rev it.
Well, even in a city situation,
Yep.
and now you got drunk people leaving a bar,
Yep.
and then like your light's not really grabbing their attention. It just everything about it's just bad.
Yeah, it is bad. And any of us who have run old ATCs, anybody who's run, the other thing too that I thought was interesting, a lot of motorcycles that we can think of that we look back fondly didn't have batteries, and there was just no hope for it. And guys tried to rig up DC systems for years, and it was always a battle. It never worked out well. Man, this is it for $124 and 3 whole wires. This is great. I'm a huge fan of this. And I might even be inclined to use this on an older motorcycle that did have a better lighting system, did have a battery on board, but wasn't reliable due to a soft magnets in the stator and the harness.
I'm assuming you will want to use LEDs, because this isn't going to give you any amperage at all. You know what I mean? It's,
Totally.
yeah.
This
so-
thing is specifically designed for LEDs,
Mhm.
and it's very, very cool. I was very much blown away by it. Very cool, very neat stuff.
Not a lot of wattage coming out of the original 6-volt AC system.
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly right. So very cool, very neat thing for people too, especially if you are a kind of guy that you still want to run that old motor, that old dirt bike you have. You want to run it, but you might want to run it after 5 p.m. when it gets dark out, and you want to see things.
Would you like trying to throw one on a 1980 Suzuki GS450E?
Well, this is where I think your bike actually has enough watts, your machine that you have. But what I was thinking more would be like a 71 or 72, like a 71 Yamaha XS650. Those were known for having particularly dim lighting, and it didn't get better as the machine got really, really old and the magnets spent a lot of their life in the same spot.
You're getting props for the screen share. They say it makes it so much better.
Yeah, right. I mean, you didn't have to try to look at this thing down here, right?
Oscar said 3 stars.
3 whole
3
stars.
stars.
I love it. The so
GSG?
yeah, very much approving of that. Couldn't be happier. I would spend $150 to have lights that work, especially on a 3-wire plug-in setup. That's just freaking genius. That's nothing wrong with that. Super cool. Love it to death. No notes on that one. The system itself, one of the things that I wanted to show, I just kind of, in case anybody at home wanted to see it, it's literally just, it looks like a voltage regulator that you've seen before with just 3 little wires coming off of it. It's pretty simple. Nothing fancy to it at all. Wanted to talk about Meckelfresh brought this up a few weeks ago, and there's been some more information happening. I'm very, very excited about it because the Honda GB500 is near and dear to my heart. I think we all know that. I am the Honda GB500 guy. I love them dearly, but I have a certain degree of caution or a certain degree of distrust when somebody tells me they're bringing this motorcycle back out again. This is the original. This is the 1989/1990. It's a 500cc, but it has a very special top end. A lot of people think this bike is a twin, but it's not a twin. But it has 2 exhaustuses, but it's not a twin. It's a single cylinder. And John, what type of valve train does this bike have that makes it so special?
RFVC.
Yes.
Radial 4 valves per cylinder.
It is brilliant. And this has been on the XR, XL, from the 350, the 400, the 450, the 500, the 600, the 650 is all basically this design. It's been around forever. And if you're going to make a GB500 today, and if you don't have those 4 letters stamped on the top of my valve covers, I'm going to be very suspect. I'm already hating it at a distance. But John nailed it when we talked about what's the new one. What's the new one going to be? Well, it turns out the new one, and you guys, I swear to God, when I post this up, you guys are going to have to forgive me for this is obviously Photoshop. Okay. There's a Japanese company called Young. They do all kinds of motorcycle stuff, and they did this photo job about a year ago. And if the motor looks a little lonely in the middle, that's because it is the CB350S motor, which has 2 valves.
Only 2?
2 valves.
Oh, it sounds like it's only running on 2 valves.
And it only has 1 header pipe, John.
That doesn't sound very angry to me.
It doesn't. It doesn't seem very angry. It doesn't. They got the gas tank shape right? That looks like the GB500 gas tank. That seat looks very much like the GB500 seat.
We need a little more pinstriping, but okay.
The side panel looks like the GB500 side panel.
Correct.
Unfortunately, it's all the wrong color. But when I look at this, my eyeballs keep saying, that's Photoshop, dumbass.
Yeah.
And it is. It's very much Photoshop. And so guess what?
Chicken butt?
Yeah. Well, here's what we're getting.
But what were you saying? That could be punched out to a 500, or is it going to have to get a big bore kit? Like same bottom end, different, whole new motor?
Turns out, as luck would have it,
on
the CB350S, which has the wrong shaped gas tank.
S standing for what? Sport?
I think it stands for slow.
Slow. Okay. Shite.
Now.
Sally Forth.
It's got the wrong wheels.
Significantly affordable.
It's got the wrong wheels. The 350cc motor can apparently be punched out by Honda to being mathematically 501 cc's without having to redesign everything. Just punching her out to 500
Stroke
cc's.
and bore or just bore?
It's a long stroke motor to start with. So the good news is they had that going for them already. The bad news is that the 350 is a 20 horsepower motor.
So you're going to get 6 more horsepower.
7.
7. Oh, my bad.
7. And that's not enough. And it's still 2 valves. So if you're at 27 horsepower, when the original one from 1989 was 39 horsepower, well, I'm sad now. No, I'm very sad.
Now you have to swap in
And that's not a GB500 tank.
Now you got to swap in a GN400 C motor or something like
right.
that.
And those are not GB500 wheels, and those are not GB500 side panels, and that's not a twin.
It's not a GB500.
It's not a 4-valver. That's crap, man. That's crap. But they did apply for the US and the New Zealand. They were awarded, the patent offices have approved the name GB500 and GB500s in the US market and the New Zealand market, which that to me is more than, a spy photograph or whatever, anything else. That means they're going to do it. And then when Honda comes out and says, oh, by the way, that motorcycle we've already sold 90 hojillion of in India, we can just punch that bad boy out and end up with 501, which has been the Asian method or the Royal Enfield method of, oh crap, our Himalaya wasn't fast enough, make the hole bigger, and that's what they do. And sometimes when you punch something out to the nth degree, like
these aren't even overhead cam motors, are they? Are they pushrod motors still?
I think they. I think it's
cam?
an overhead cam motor. I think it's an overhead cam motor, but it does make it makes all of its numbers at about 2,400 RPM.
Yeah.
So it's one of those like super high efficiency type things.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sad.
I could take that across country.
You could, because
Yeah.
you are uniquely qualified to do that,
Yeah.
having ridden your Janus cross country.
Yeah,
Right.
Little
This
125s and stuff.
And this has twice as many shock absorbers as your
Right.
Janus. So I would say that's probably twice as comfortable.
Well,
Renee says woot. And then Chris Brewer is asking, do we know if the CB1000 Hornet's going to make it to the U.S.?
We don't know that yet.
Yeah.
And that's
more
something-
importantly, the SP.
the SP. That is exactly
But
right.
again, you know what? What's up, Honda? You've made a red, white, and blue and gold color scheme so iconic that people lose themselves and nut in their pants.
Yes, they do.
And then you do something awesome like the fucking Hornet SP, and it's available in flat black or flat black.
Black.
Come on,
Black,
Honda.
black,
Nobody wants the
or
fucking
black.
flat black bike. There's 3 guys. They all have gold teeth, and they fucking hate everybody. Like, bring out our fucking Honda colors, man. Seriously.
Sleepy, do the thing.
What do you want? Oh, yeah.
So I just want to bring that up so people could see it, what Sleepy's talking about. We are big fans of the Hornet around here, especially when it has more than 2 cylinders. Because to me, a proper Hornet needs to have more than 2 cylinders. There's the Hornet. They got the wheel color right.
Yep.
Then what happened?
I don't know. The SP is dope, though. For the money that they're saying it's going to cost,
Yeah.
like that might be the next Canyon Carver right there.
Mhm.
Nice Honda, reliable, 150 horsepower, fucking Olin suspension.
I kind of like the downpipes, but that muffler's got to go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that muffler, it can't be there.
It's just, we'll know what it's going to be when it actually shows up, of course. But I'm 100% in the camp of, hey, that what they're going to do is they're going to launch it this way, right? They're going to launch it like this one time. And then the next year, they're going to be red, white, and blue, right? The year after that, they're going to be red, white, and blue.
That again?
Yeah.
You Gator juice me?
Sure.
Oh, another Gator juice. Yeah,
Gotta have at least 4.
you got real happy last
Or
week.
red.
Yeah,
There's 25 milligrams a can, so it's
Yeah,
all right. I mean, it's a
uh-huh.
little,
right.
you give you a little set.
Just a little medicinal, just
Yeah,
to take the
just
pain away. Yeah, I totally get it. I 100% completely get it. The
If you're not having enough pain, I can smack you.
looking into our personal future at the shop, we sold the Steve McQueen
Oh, nice.
Yay! I'm
Very-
happy about that.
to a guy who's bought other bikes from us too.
Wow.
And
Thank you, sir.
to make Chris happy, this is also a guy that just bought a Janus 450.
Wow.
No kidding.
So he just got done, hot on the heels of buying a Janus 450. Not even delivered. It's probably going to be delivered end of January, is what he's hearing. I believe he got it in the green colorway.
Nice.
So but
English racing green or the military.
I cannot tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't even see a picture of it. But while he was in the shop, he's the guy that I said, you need to go to Indiana. And he went to Indiana. Right. And then
Somebody actually listened to you?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He went to Indiana and I think he got
You're now the number 7 dealer.
I might be right.
Janus nationwide.
Wait, I think I might be the number 1 because I don't think they have any other dealers set up.
You're right.
So I might be the number 1 dealer for Janus.
Commission on that sale?
No, you know what? I feel like we should get a commission on that sale, but because we are not officially Janus dealers yet.
Yeah, don't say that
Right.
too loud, or everybody on the east go west of the east of Mississippi is going to bring their Janus.
Actually,
Of course
Tom, I get a commission.
Oh,
I get discounts
See,
off
there
my
you
next
go.
order. So
Oh, there you go.
yeah.
For the guy that
Some
I
guy
sent.
I've never
So
spoken to.
not
Yeah.
somebody you never spoke to. I love it. Take it any way you can get it.
as long as somebody's getting something.
As long as somebody's getting
Yeah,
something.
You know.
Well, but it was fun because he came in and he's not 6'1", right? And he came into the shop and he's just been visiting. He started his motorcycle adventure on an Indian-made Bajajio, right? And he brought this thing in that Tom will tell you, it was running, and that's it. And it was a wiggle from the front tire to the back tire. There was nothing that was supposed to have a lock washer that had a lock washer.
Oh, geez.
There was nothing that was supposed to have a bearing that had a bearing.
Oh,
It was all just trash. And when he came in, he was like, "Yeah, I got this thing, and it's really weird, and it doesn't seem to run right. Can you guys go through it and make it safe?"
Hmm.
And it was in our shop for about an hour, and Tom and I crawled through it, and we were like, "We can't make this safe."
Yeah.
There's like
Throw it away.
the frame
we
has
can make
never
it-
been to Italy.
We can make it very safe very quickly.
Hang it on the wall.
Get that semi truck that's driving down the street right
Yeah.
now and throw it in front of it.
No, just hang it on the wall, man.
How much did the guy lose?
Oh, all of it.
No, I mean, like, how much? Like, was he heavy into it or no?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, do you remember 6-7 years ago when every time you'd open eBay,
oh yeah.
you'd see a 1966 Vespa Sprint?
No,
With
no,
the
it's always
beautiful white
yeah.
seats and yeah. Usually a blue, metallic blue or green.
and the seat cover always said Vesper.
Yeah. What color was this?
Red
Oh, red.
with
okay.
white walls
Oh yeah. White.
and the
Yeah.
wrong size wheels
Right.
Yep.
and
Cinch
hand
is still available.
and
Oh.
hand fabricated wheels at that.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, these are real sweethearts.
Wow.
Yeah, they're probably safe up to about 8 miles an hour.
Don't push it too fast.
If you hit the front brakes, the front tire will lock against the inside of the front fender,
Yep.
and you will fly.
Oh wow.
Meaning the front tire will stop and make itself stop harder the more your weight goes into the handlebars.
I had a self-energizing moment like that, and it was not fun.
It's very fucking scary, man.
oh yeah,
And the harder you brake, the harder it breaks.
yep.
And the more the suspension goes down, the more the suspension goes down.
And then it all breaks.
And then you die. Right. But he brought that in and he's like, "Well, what will you give me for trade?" And I'm like, "It's useless." And
I will
we even
trade
had
you one trash bag.
well, and now though, we have a local restaurateur that was kind of like, "I want a Vespa to put in my patio for the theme of my restaurant." And he was like, "Yeah, that's what I want." So the next time you come across an unsalvageable whatever, and I'm like, "This is the perfect bike."
Oh yeah.
And we'll even decommission it so it can never fire a shot in anger ever again. Because this was the true string gaskets, Coke cans, like the whole thing. It was the definition of the Nommer, right? And the thing is, it just happened to exist 6 or 8 years after we all knew to look for these things. Like when the internet was flooded with that stuff.
But as a shop owner, when somebody tells me, they call up on the phone and they go, I got a 66 Vespa Sprint. I usually say, the hell you do. Because that didn't exist then, right? That's not a bike you have. That's what they called it when they sold it, but that ain't what it is.
Yeah.
Now you tell me you got a 64 GL, I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
You tell me you got a 72 Super, I'm paying attention. You say it's a Super Sport, I'm paying attention.
Right.
But now I'm to the point where if you say 64, 5, or 6 Sprint, then I know what it is, because that just seems to be the nomenclature that all those scumbags latched onto when they did their import paperwork or whatever they did.
So how do they have any kind of a title for that? Or-
Well, so here's the good news, Sleepy. Depending on where you live, they don't.
right. Okay.
The company that sold them to you, Shitbag, and Shitbag Incorporated, when they'd sell them to you, they'd say it comes with an export certificate, or it comes with a bill of sale, or it comes with nothing at all. Some states you can get a little sloppy with a handwritten bill of sale, or an MCO or an MSO, manufacturer's certificate of origin or statement of origin. But in these particular cases, I'm sure what these bikes had was they probably had something resembling an export or an import document that said, this thing that's over 25 years old is going into this wooden box and it's going out into the world. And since they have a number for a 1966 Vespa Sprint, they're putting that, I think, on all of them. So the idea is they got a couple through using that, so they're going to put them all through using that. And we've seen that come through on frames that we know were from 1982, 1985.
And a lot of them actually have the Bajaj numbers on them.
Yes,
if
they
you
do.
look at it, because they're not, the IGM is something weird, like a long 27 character number
is,
letter
yeah.
system.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the Vespa.
Nothing to do with anything, right? And so that's what this guy had brought in, and it was pretty bad, pretty tragic. And he wisely decided to change his life around, made a very good life decision, decided to live longer on this planet. We gave him a conciliatory amount for the bike purely to go to this restaurateur, who, when I told the restaurateur how much I paid for the bike, and I said, this is your opportunity to get a beautiful piece of art for your patio, because he wants people to sit on it and take selfies and all that kind of crap, like lag bolt it right into the patio.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good place.
And I told him how much I paid for it, and he was like, no, that's too much.
Oh, shit.
And this guy's like in his third $7 million restaurant.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fuck your hat, man. Like, we were friends.
I guess
So-
it's going on the roof.
Well, it's in the showroom right now
Yeah.
with a big not for sale sign
Yeah.
on it. So I took a little bit of an ouchie on this one, but I wouldn't, when I tell you what he bought, you'll understand why I took the ouchie. He bought a Justin Bieber.
Oh,
Yep.
All right.
And did he have it
Nice.
de-Biebered or no?
No, it is 100% still flaming Bieber.
Wow.
It is pure Bieber.
You found a Bieber. What do they call the Bieber?
A believer.
A believer.
I don't think he's a believer, but he understands like limited edition stuff is going to be worth something someday.
Nice to
And-
have that off the floor.
And man, every time a Bieber left, an angel got his wings, man. Yeah, there was a very secret
Nothing-
handshake that was enjoyed, and
Well,
then a good Mexican dinner was
So once you sell that, do 3 more come in?
that particular one. Yes.
There were,
Yes, that was during that era. That was of that era when I was like, I sold a Bieber. I'm so happy I got rid of the Bieber. And Vespa had already shipped me 3 more.
and they're
No longer.
and
Did
they're
you say
they're
ship or shit?
both.
Yeah.
And there are big signs next to them that says Tom don't touch.
Right. And then we had a scratch and dent GTV come in, 300cc,
Yep.
you know, all the bells, all the whistles, all the badass shit.
And it's the new one with a really good, I love that dash.
That speedometer is just
Oh,
a
it's
work
great.
of art,
Oh yeah.
and it is beautiful. And not that anybody's going to use it for the Bluetooth hookup or
Oh,
whatever
no,
the
no.
fuck it is, but it is a it is
Compared
a
to the old GTV,
it's a
beautiful
really
dash.
nice bike. They fixed all the old GTV
Oh
problems.
yeah.
And they so he came in and he happened to be in my shop, and Renee and I were taking pictures of the scratches and dents on this bike, and trying to get Vespa to take care of scratches and dents is like pulling teeth backwards. Like, it is not cool. And he
It's a
happens to be
character.
there.
It's a bit of character. What's wrong?
Oh, dude.
It
Yeah.
fell off of the back of the truck.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's the trucking company's fault. No, dude, the outside of this crate is perfect.
Yeah.
This happened at the factory,
Yeah.
and Guido still put it in a crate.
Mhm.
Like, you can't
There
lie
was
to
4
me.
layers of protection over the scratch.
Over the
Yeah.
scratches, right?
They're
They
outside
put
the-
foam over the scratches,
Right.
right? There's a big old dent in the side of it. There was a big old dent in the side, which on a Vespa means frame.
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
The frame's got to go, and they don't do that. So while I'm standing there taking pictures of this thing, just crying, knowing what a pain in the ass it's going to be to get this all taken care of, he keeps looking at it like he likes it. And I'm like, I'll cut you a hell of a deal on a scratch and dent special here, my friend, if I don't have to do all the paperwork to get this thing taken care of with a big old dent in the side of it. And he's like, I didn't even notice the dent. I thought it was like a styling of the bike on that one side.
You were like, oh yeah,
Oh,
it
it's
is,
a
of course.
special.
Yeah, that's $300 extra.
Well, so we negotiated to a point where it was far better for me to give him the discount than it was for me to try to do the paperwork to backwards to get Vespa to send me a replacement frame or something like that.
Mhm.
And for Vespa to pay Tom $12.31 an hour
Yeah.
for the 18 hours it takes to do a frame swap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no shit.
Right.
That's like rebuilding the motorcycle.
Oh, yeah.
It is exactly
absolutely.
rebuilding the
Yeah.
motorcycle. Except for it violates the first rule of that what the factory hath assembled, let no man disassemble.
no.
Right.
Because she only goes together right once.
And you're down to the bone on that too. Like
Yes,
literally.
you are
yeah.
down to the bone on that. Right. That's exactly it. Plus, you got to convince the state of Ohio that the VIN number is not the VIN number anymore.
Right.
And what do? They send you a painted every
In the past, yes, they have.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. In the past, they have sent us a complete frame, or they have said, if it is truly not in their financial best interest, they teach us how to cut them apart and take a bike that has a dent in it and literally cut it in half. We do not like doing that.
Nope.
I will go a long way to not do
Nope.
that.
How do you put it together, or do you just cut it in half and it's done?
It's done.
It's now art.
Congratulations.
You know about VFX.
Total.
You know you got a guy who knows how some VFX works,
So,
right? I'm just saying.
Well, now. So
we can do a lot with you pulling one half this way and you pulling the other half
So-
that way. And
So
They
John,
send us a 5-page document that tells us
Oh, yeah.
exactly what blade to use on the Sawzall
Yep.
and exactly where to cut it, 3 different places,
Oh,
and then
that's perfect.
photograph it like laying in a dump.
Let me
And
ask you-
then,
let me ask
you
you
don't have to
this.
pay for it.
Let me ask
Yeah.
you this.
Then
is-
then it's gone.
Would you make more money if I had a guy that we could give $1,000 and get a perfect VFR or
It's not
digital-
necessary.
yeah,
It doesn't
it's not-
happen
no.
enough
I just want a free Vespa.
Why don't they just
Well-
take it back?
because
Is
then,
it-
Chris, you'd have to pay for shipping,
Twice.
Right?
and they'd lose money then.
Yeah.
And somebody's still going to have to do a frame swap.
Yep.
so.
Right.
Am I an idiot or what?
No, your
Oh,
brain's
no.
working,
I
Chris.
would never tell you that.
But wouldn't they be like?
Chris-
Wouldn't it be better off for them to be like, take $2,000 off?
Chris.
No.
I now have a
Yes,
I now
they
have a complete
would.
Vespa Primavera
However,
in parts.
As we all know, if you're in the motorcycle industry for 5 minutes, you'll know that a forklift dent in a frame totals the bike out.
Mhm.
And in this case, the frame is the part you can see.
Right.
So
exoskeleton.
Wow.
it's an
Yep.
exoskeleton.
Yeah.
So now the buyer gets the bike and goes, State Farm says this is totaled. Right.
Hey.
So State Farm's not going to buy him a new one.
Nope.
So anyway, that's the way that works. So it is El Succo, but
I'll take something. to
but
drink.
that's a thing that actually happened. But so he came back in and he bought the Steve McQueen.
Oh, that's great.
Yay.
Yeah, he's super excited about it because limited edition status, the whole thing. He's done all his homework.
Yeah.
He came in and I basically, I was like, go out and look around. I'm sure there's all kinds of other bikes you'd want. I was so proud of him buying the Janus 450. I was like, yeah, that's great. And he's like, so you're not trying to sell me this McQueen right now? And I'm like, I'm honestly not done getting to know it yet.
Yeah.
Right. I'm only very gently trying to sell it. Like, I'm not even trying. Does it have the books? You're not supposed to ask if it has the books.
You are,
Does
if
it
you wanna
have
get a
the
deal.
the sheet with his son's signature on it? Ooh, it does. It has all the stuff plus the extra stuff that's on it. And he was asking all these questions, and I was like, oh shit, I think he's trying to buy this motorcycle.
How old is this guy?
Oh, 40,
Oh,
35,
really?
40-ish. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That big of a Steve McQueen fan.
Well,
Limited
Not a
edition.
bad
I think
thing.
I think keywords were limited edition.
I think that
Ah.
limited edition
Yeah.
carries a lot of freight in this one.
Because
Yeah.
if you bought a Bieber, and
Yeah.
you bought a
Yeah,
GTV
yeah.
even with a discount,
Right.
and you're looking at a Steve McQueen and you bought a Janus 450,
Yeah.
I don't think the words coming out of your mouth is, how is this going to impact my wallet?
Yeah, exactly.
So-
He's pretty excited about it. I don't want to get in his way. He's having a
He
great
seemed
time.
like a cool guy.
Super cool guy. Yeah, super cool guy. And I would have said that to him before he bought the bike. But anyway, it's pretty fun. And as we all know, I got a FTR 1200 flat tracker came in from Indian.
I'm a little sorry you didn't ride that here tonight so we could test ride
I know.
it.
I know.
In the snow.
It has been very difficult to not take that bike outside.
You know
and
what
at
the
least fire it up.
I came this close. It was like when I was looking at my Tuono, I was like eyeballing one of those too, because it's kind of the weird. It's not the same, obviously, but it's still it is the canyon carving Indian.
But you know what the best part about that is? What's the best part about that, Phil?
Well, it's not a DSR.
No,
it's
no,
not
no.
a DSRX.
There you
It's
go.
one less zero.
Oh,
I'm just
It is
Usually
slotted-
you like to add a zero to things, but
right.
not this
I'm
time.
in the zero elimination business right
Yeah.
now, and I have 1 0 left. It's an SR, and the guy that came in was super jazzed
Oh yeah.
about getting the zero DSRX. Like he's fired up, man.
Is there
No,
going to be a
that's cool.
party when you have 0 zeros?
Yes, there will be a less than zero party.
We'll take the
Yeah.
we'll take the
Oh, the zero.
we'll take the shelves out of the back and bring them out here to the bonfire.
Yeah, also true. Right, also a good idea.
Which is truly a horrific shame.
I had
because
the best zero display
Yeah.
of most dealers in America. I had all the branded shit. I still have a lot of t-shirts and a lot of hats and stuff like that. I still have shad cases. I still have chargers.
I have a stack of lithium batteries in the back I can't do shit
I
with.
got $40,000 worth of lithium batteries back there that Zero swapped out for customers that a person who knows about lithium batteries, I'm sure could harvest.
Send us an email.
Yeah, right. If you know about lithium batteries and you'll want some lithium batteries,
Oh god, I got all.
we
the
ain't
lithium
paying for
batteries.
freight, but I got
No.
about 600 pounds of them. So yeah, that's got to be worth something to the home generator
Yeah, no-
enthusiast,
no kidding.
right? Yeah, because I've seen those cells
Oh yeah.
be
Oh, and they're good cells. It's not
they're
cheap
amazing.
shit.
No, it's really
But
really nice
I don't
stuff.
have the time to sit there and pick through every cell and pull the good ones.
Correct. Absolutely. Oh, and nor should we.
Yeah.
Nor should we. That's not what we do. Absolutely not the kind of thing we want to do.
But if you
The-
are, email.
Oh, I'm telling you that is just, please come and take my lithium batteries. Please come and take my zero shit. Anybody see the latest KTM news? Because that's not getting better.
No, I had read an article or saw a headline where it was starting to take a bunch of that it was bad news, not just for them, but for a lot of other ancillary businesses and other motorcycle brands.
Yeah. I've been to a few motorcycle factories in my career. And sometimes when I go to the motorcycle factory, I'm like, hey, can you take me to the room where the engines are made? And they go, we don't have one of those. That's handled by another company in another city. In this particular instance, this is a story about a guy's family-run foundry, a place that makes metal castings that is going out of business. Well, gone out of business.
100 employees.
Yep, because their biggest contract is KTM. 69 years in the business. Vokla Bruker Metal Gisri Dambauer GmbH. I murdered that with my 2 years of being
Close
in Germany,
enough.
right? But here's the thing, like Perrier was 70% of their business going back to 2022.
Yeah.
150 employees, $32 million, right? Is their turnover, their annual, that's what they make every year, $32 million. But they weren't just a supplier for KTM. They made all the parts for BMWs too. So this loss of this castings plant affects BMW as much. Like, feel terrible for these guys because they're gone. This is it. Forget about it. You know, that's your family. That's what you were doing. They had it was probably a great day when they got the KTM contract.
Mhm.
It was probably a great day for their company. After 70 plus years in business, it was probably a great day for them to get that KTM
Like
contract.
all the hard work finally paid off.
Sure
Look
enough.
at, we are honoring our country, doing
yeah.
Or so they thought.
Or so
Right.
they thought. Or so they thought. And this is what, this is one of the things we didn't talk about last week. And we didn't talk about this 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when we were sitting around admiring the catastrophic failure of KTM and the hubris of them having this concept of like, well, we're doing great. And if we dump all of our eggs in the China basket, we're going to be here forever. But dumping all their eggs in the China basket and getting loans that they could not afford to pay back. And different parts of that company could not survive. I mean, it's a simple thing. This sucks. This sucks on a real big level. Poor guy's going to work every day, going to work in a hot factory, dealing with, 2 2,000 degree aluminum,
molten metal.
his whole
Yeah.
life. Probably super happy to have that kind of a job in today's market where that kind of a job is few and far between. I've been to the Moto Guzzi factory. There is no casting operations there. They open boxes, they put shit together. I've been to the Piaggio factory. There is no casting operation there. They open boxes, they put things together. I've been to the Ducati factory. There is no engine making operation there. They open boxes, they put things together.
This
is
person
the
has a
place-
question about our take on the Honda Nissan thing. And I said, we're actually talking about motorcycles.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about that later. We did mention it.
If we,
on
we
last
did
podcast.
mention it last podcast. Yeah.
This, I mean, since we're talking about companies getting together, this is Pierre or whatever the hell that asshole's name is, and Bajaj getting together and moving manufacturing to a third world country and screwing over people who live in Austria that had jobs.
But that Bajaj thing hasn't happened yet.
Said it was
Did
official.
they finish the
says
official?
it was official in December.
Okay. All right. Because I remember, I
So
think
it's
that,
a scumbag worth $9 billion who decided to fuck over everybody in Austria and move
Mhm.
KTM to India.
it's true.
So
It's absolutely
and that's
true.
legitimately the way to put it.
Right.
Dude's a piece of shit.
Well, I
But
mean,
he's a piece of shit worth $9 billion
He clawed his way all the way up to the top to where he could fuck everybody.
from where he was in middle management.
Yeah.
Only worth $3 billion.
but that gaping hole that's left behind.
Yeah.
You know, and I hope everyone at this point, I'm not related to this, but I did see that dealerships were selling the brand new 2024 KTM 790s
Mhm.
for $2,000 and $3,000 off.
Mhm.
But no way. There's no way in hell I would touch that bike. There's just no way. Even though I know that's a Chinese power plant, even though I know that came from CF Moto, right? There's no way in hell I would touch that. Absolutely
You
not.
think
But
CF
some poor
Moto's
sucker
gonna-
is going to end up walking in there
Oh, yeah.
and buying the thing, and they're going to be left holding the bag because the dealership's gone and stuff.
But
like
do you
that.
believe?
Yeah,
CF
but I mean, I met a lot of people that had 1981 Alfa Romeos.
And
There was no Alfa Romeo company in the United States to
N-
service them and maintain them and take care of them.
We talked about this
There
earlier.
was a gap.
We
there
talked
was-
about this earlier. 1985 Piaggio PX150E
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the Plurimatic.
But do you think so?
I don't know what
CF
that
Moto,
means.
if they're making most of these parts,
Yep.
do you really think they're not going to take that cash eventually? If, like, say KTM just goes away and
Yes.
now the intellectual property, they're not
Right.
going to make the parts. You don't think?
They can't.
Why would you?
who would?
I mean, that's a lot of money. You know how
No,
many
it's
KTM,
not a lot of money.
All the
It's
KTMs
not a lot
are
of
out there?
money.
You don't
It's
think so?
not a lot of money.
No.
No, and it's no money at all while the bikes are under warranty.
Good
Yeah.
point.
So it's no money at all for you while the bikes are under warranty.
Yeah, that's a good
These
point.
guys fought tooth and claw to not honor the cam problem.
Yeah.
Right.
To tell people they were
How many-
screwed on the cam problem.
How many years has the joke been? And then the crank bearing failed.
And then the crank bang failed. Exactly. But when we talk about that, you know, in 1983, in 81, Vespa started pulling their dealers out
Yeah.
because Italy wouldn't make a bike that was compliant with United States EPA laws.
Yep.
All their bikes were still two strokes. So since all their bikes were still two strokes, the United States said, you're not welcome here. And they tried for a little while in the 70s, building a California compliant bike, but that didn't last very long at all. And then by 81, they were straight up telling people, okay, it's over. Your dealership, we're leaving America. You can do whatever the hell you want, but after a certain date, you're not going to be able to use our name anymore because we're not sending you any more product. But certain dealers continued to sell bikes to people, and bikes kept trickling in. 82, 83.
Yep.
Bikes came in, and people were like, wow, what a great deal I got. This is super great.
Yep.
Except for the fact that there was not a single person here in this country that could get parts or warranty service or anything to keep your bike on the road for you. Now, go ahead.
So is that caveat emptor?
It is totally caveat
Yep.
emptor. It's absolutely caveat emptor. And if you were the last guy in your city to buy a Yugo GV,
Yeah.
and you got it for $900 off, congratulations. But when you need a part, even a simple part, we've seen a lot of motorcycle manufacturers that have come and gone over the years. And when they went away, even silly things like a voltage regulator, even silly things like a flywheel or a tail light did not exist.
Find me a stator for a 4-stroke Bajaj G-Talk.
The
Plain and
flywheel,
simple.
a whole flywheel.
Find a flywheel.
Find the flywheel. Find the tail light.
Yep.
It doesn't exist.
Brake handle.
Right.
Because
right.
we went through
Yeah,
that.
we tried. We tried. It's impossible to do that. And this is what we're looking at here. Will
Yep.
CF Moto pull out CF Moto's giant dick at this point and just say we're buying KTM.
Well, if it's if it's a combo between Bajaj and Pierre or whatever the fuck his name is, will Bajaj bother? Because they don't need to.
They don't need to. I don't think they need to. I do not know what the financial penalty will be for this, but we're seeing human collateral here.
Oh yeah.
That's just getting devastated because of this guy's hubris and what he tried to pull off.
When I was a kid, hunting, because I mean I'm living in the middle of I'm in an industrial formerly industrial city. But when I was a kid, one of the biggest jobs was Alcoa.
Right.
Since we're talking about aluminum casting.
Sure. Yeah.
And then boom, mid-90s happened, everything implodes, and Alcoa, which was the biggest factory in Huntington, West Virginia, is gone.
They were no slouch here.
Nope.
There's like less than I think there's only 3 aluminum foundries in America right now.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. So anyway, that's kind of what this is all about right here. Just it's painful. I mean, that is absolutely painful. Bonkers stuff. The in the news where you're kind of going, something happened, and I was very surprised that it wasn't us. For once, I read a news story and I was like,
Manscaped?
I think this could have been us. No, we're not selling ball trimmers anymore. That's not what we're doing.
Do you like your balls?
We went through that phase. We went through that phase. I'd rather not have the money than to have that kind of money. So here we have dirt bike riding youths terrorize indoor shopping center in California.
Is this an ad for SSR?
On a bet, I rode my dirt bike through Wycliffe High School when I was attending one of my many, many years of summer school, and the building was empty. But just so happened, I knew which 2 doors were open because the cleaning staff was in there, and the only people that were there were a few kids that were there for remedial
Miscreants.
Yeah, for remedial English class that I had to take. One year I had to take summer school for gym. Top that.
Wow, I bet that was some really rough dodgeball.
Top that. But I did ride my dirt bike down through the main corridor. I went in the front door, came out the back door. It was like that. Happened real quick. If you didn't see the tracks on the floor or smell the 2-stroke, you wouldn't have known it, right? These guys, though, they won it. They went in. 3 kids, 1 guy on what looks like I'm going to say it's Kawasaki green. So I'm going to say maybe a KX50, maybe a KX80.
KLX 110.
Is that the 110?
That's the small wheels.
The 110 is tiny.
Yeah.
I love them. They're great.
But then there's a big one, too.
Yeah.
So it doesn't say what their make and model is, but there's definitely a mini bike.
The left is definitely a Kawasaki.
And then there's definitely 2 up on
Looks like a Yamaha, an old Yamaha.
It does. And they're 2 up on it for sure.
Yeah.
No helmets, right? No helmets. Very
guys,
Wouldn't you love
guys? Pro tip:
to see those guys coming through and just clean them out from the side and knock them right into the chainmail.
You mean say
I can't afford these kids?
I mean, pro tip.
I would fucking wipe those guys out.
Wear the helmet because they can't identify if you're wearing helmets.
No, once you're down and you're knocked out,
they're not wearing helmets.
Your ass.
Well, but
I would fucking knock those guys down.
Well, Chris, then
calm down, Smith.
Chris, then I've got something that's going to make you very happy.
Let's hear it. Settle down,
Chris. I'm going to make you very happy. One of these 3 children, was killed hours after this was filmed in a motor vehicle accident.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so that should make
Bad
you happy.
decisions.
Right? That should make you happy. That justice
Remember,
was
Chris,
served.
it didn't happen here. It happened in California.
That's right. It happened in California. I can tell you that
we do not condemn this activity.
However, had I been in that shopping mall and I heard the I would take 3 solid steps back into the Auntie Anne's pretzels.
Spencer gifts.
Right? I would hide behind the Orange Julius machine.
I mean, there's only like 20. It's a mall, so there's only like 27 people in the entire mall.
I would stand back, but I would not take a proactive, aggressive. I'm going to knock these kids off their bike, because I would just inside. I would be smirking and giggling, because
only in America,
as long as nobody gets hurt, I think that I'm totally okay with this.
Well, not only that, but like, who are they damaging? The corporate entity that owns the mall? Like, I mean, I know you can't just let it happen, but is it worth like killing a kid?
Here's
or shooting
my thing.
You know,
if they're in a
windows,
if they're a 2015 Camaro, I got a problem with this.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
If they're in a Ford Mustang leaving a car show, I got a problem with this.
They're a 1970. What was a
But
73 Dodge Polara? What did the Blues Brothers
It
drive?
doesn't matter.
Well, no,
yeah,
it's-
no, we were talking about what we just said.
Get 'em
If
all.
it's an impromptu filming of the Blues Brothers,
Right.
right? Yeah. Look, Disco Pants and Haircuts. A lot of space in this mall. The new Buick's in early this year. Yeah, but this thing, yeah. If these kids stole a shopping cart and were two up in a shopping cart at maximum full trot, they run into you. They're going to do about the same damage if they hit you on one of these motorcycles. These bikes are pretty small. These guys are pretty small. And I don't see them brandishing any weapons or machetes. This is not Hang On. This isn't, Outrun. This is some grade A teenager shenanigans going on.
This is hooliganism.
This is hooliganism. This is exactly what this is. They didn't seem to want to break into the jewelry store and grab a bunch of jewelry and haul ass, which is what happens in Britain.
Yeah.
They didn't want to knock people down and take their possessions away. These kids wanted the street cred of being able to say they rode through the mall.
Yeah.
The good news is there's YouTube video of it. So it happened. It's real. But the problem was that one of the young riders was killed shortly after the act with colliding with a vehicle just a few miles away from the mall. So not great. So this was at the Town Center Mall in Santa Clarita, which I think that's where they figured out they could eat people or
All the
something.
damn vampires.
There's going to be like a memorial ride now, though.
Oh, you're right. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
There's going to be like an RIP, Tony ride.
Yeah.
So that's going to be like
Pookie Dash.
9,000 illegal mini bikes. So if you've had a motorcycle stolen in the Santa Clarita area, report to the Tony Memorial Ride, the Santa Clarita Mall Memorial Ride, and I'll bet you 9 for 10 you get your stolen bike back.
Do you remember when Cleveland was going to build a dirt bike park for all the motorcycles that were taking over
Because
the
our
streets?
mayor's grandson,
Frank Jackson.
Yeah,
because our mayor's grandson couldn't stay out of jail.
yeah. And then they were like,
the solution was
well,
we're going to build a
well,
motocross park.
Okay,
Right.
now let's look at this the other way. There's a
Yeah.
lot of available abandoned property in the city.
no, but the thing is though, is that the bike life guys,
Yeah.
like how many of those bikes have titles? Like they were like, yeah, you just have to register your bike once and then you can come into the park. And
I
I'm like,
mean-
there's not one dude that's going to be able to register any
But
bike through
that's
that park.
everybody always asks for a solution to bike takeovers of the street and everything else. Where the hell else are you gonna ride? You go out in the fucking woods, you got a million miles you can ride out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, and they're missing the
Where
idea.
is
City.
that? Where is
I was
that?
going to say, sign me up
Oh,
because they had to buy property in Oberlin for us to ride around in a quarter of a mile track,
Yeah.
and Sleepy had to buy property in Wellington for
Oh,
us
no,
to
but-
ride around in a half mile
Hold on,
track.
where's
Yeah.
isn't there a bunch of OHV around here?
No,
No.
Not
No.
a drop.
All this property?
not a drop.
Damn. West Virginia is an
Do you want to
entire-
know how
in
bad
West
it
Virginia
was
is a
in
dirt bike
Austria?
park.
It was so bad in Austria that KTM had to open a headquarters in Ohio.
Well,
And then Ohio got to be developed out to the point where KTM's headquarters in Ohio,
yeah.
they lost access to their cycle park, their Kennedy cycle park. They used to ride them down the railroad track lines
Huh.
to go to the
Right.
Kennedy Center to go ride around, or what was that? What's the Meadowlark or whatever. But that was where they used to ride all the KTMs,
Mm.
and they lost that. There is no legal place to ride a dirt bike within that's and let me say this correctly, that is not somebody's backyard private property.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people that own 100 acres of property
Or
that
a
can do whatever
track.
they
Well,
want.
Well, yeah,
like
'cause-
Smith Road track and all these other
And
tracks.
the
but, like, that's
electric
just a
the
little,
electric
you know.
park with the other stuff. But you're right.
What is
okay.
what's the creek
Weird.
one? That's probably an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's
The
about an hour and a half
Bear
away.
Creek. Bear Creek. and
About an
those
hour and a
areas.
half away.
Yeah.
So the point being that no, Tom,
Huh.
we don't have
There's
any
no OHV here.
BLM land. There's no
Weird.
OHV land. There's none of that here.
Ninja Jasso said, Chris is yelling, get off my lawn to the internet.
We did
Dave-
tell him to settle down.
Dave King from Texas really likes the new visuals and audio.
Oh, good. That's
All right.
fantastic. Yay.
Your Patreon money is paying off.
But I definitely think that
Huh.
when that all happened, when we had the prospected dirt bike park that was happening, Baltimore just had a program where they were using law enforcement and local community activists. The idea was to get the kids off the public streets and get them into industrial property and industrial territories that were disused anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
And so volunteers had come together and they got these kids in their dirt bikes to be in a nice controlled environment. The city of Cleveland Police Department was letting people use the old Muni lot. and they were letting guys on sport bikes and wheelie bikes and dirt bikes. The city of Cleveland had a hands-off, no arrest policy, and they were doing sideshows in that old Muni lot, and it was cool. I went down there several times. It was super fun. And then it got a little out of control, and they started clamping down on it. When they launched the program for the off-road stuff, they talked to our shop because guess what we were selling?
Oh,
Pit bikes.
yeah, right.
We were there, right? And I said, do it. I will be there. I will have a booth every single weekend. We will sell these things like they're going out of style. I'm your man. Make it happen. You can count on me for sponsorship every single weekend. And they couldn't pour piss out of a boot if the instructions were printed on the heel. They managed to screw this whole thing up. And you know where they were going to put it? Right over off of 480 that you can see. Right
Oh,
where the
really?
police shotgun range is and everything else.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole shit ton of property over there that is environmentally so toxic that they blew up a Walmart. Like
Yeah.
that whole shopping area just became a place you can't go.
Yeah, because it smelled like farts.
Well,
Like they were halfway done building that thing, and like, yeah, sulfur took it over. The workers got sick. Like
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, right across the street, right across 480 from that is a giant, massive, hundreds and hundreds of acres of property. They're unusable, but have beautiful terrain features, like hill climbs for days.
That's what I don't understand. Like, okay, you're Honda. You're made
Yeah.
of money.
Yes.
Like, why can't you buy 400 acres somewhere close to Ohio, anywhere? I just buy it and then open it up and be like,
Yeah. They have them, but they're not here.
yeah, you want to sell
Right.
quad runners, you want to sell dirt bikes, you want to sell side by sides.
Right.
Well, you're going to have to actually provide a place for the public to ride them.
It would be brilliant. I mean, that would be.
Or get together with 4 other companies and be like, this is the international motorcycle, or
Yeah, because we have the space.
And think about that
Right.
too. Like if you want to sell electric ATVs,
Yep.
if you have a park, then it makes sense because you're just going in a fucking loop and coming back.
Oh, how great would it be if our friends over at Sills, right, could sell the entire range of Honda off-road vehicles?
On the shit dump plant or the thing over there.
Yeah,
What do you call it? Landfill.
landfill.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Off of Transportation Boulevard.
that's where this
Yeah.
property
Yeah.
is. This is where the proposed location was going to be.
Okay.
And I've been down there without a permit. I've been down there on my KLR 650. Yes. Put up the flags. Post one cop down there
Right.
to just, occasionally, rough up somebody that needs to be, that's being a bully or trying to steal bikes.
No AKs.
Or driving through a mall.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I would be all for it because as a guy that runs a business in Cleveland, that would be a venue.
there was a bunch of planned out there at 611,
Mhm.
where I went back there with 4-wheel driving and
Right.
stuff, and it was like desolate land behind the steel mill, kind of trapped. Like buy something like that and
Yeah.
open it up, turn it into
we were
a beautiful park.
just talking about how vacant the Great Northern Mall is the other day, so maybe they should open that up as a dirt bike
Just,
park.
you know what? They just tore down Richmond Mall, right? They just tore
Yeah.
that right
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
And Johnny K's is the anchor of Elyria Mall. And I think they lost their lease on that. I think that's going to get torn down too. Am I right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I always thought it was weird. Like, because
What?
like their one showroom like opens up to the mall.
Their showroom is in the mall,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
if you want to get your bikes to the service department, you got to go through the mall to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I mean, good
bizarre,
for
but-
them. I mean, it's saving money, compared
Well,
to
and
new
it's real
building.
estate,
Yeah.
and they're
yeah.
using it. But I think that their time has run out on that.
Yeah.
I
I think that is the danger of doing that.
Right,
You're
because-
in a dead mall and you're the
Right.
only thing there. It's like,
yeah,
hey.
you're only there until the roof leaks so bad that you can't stop it.
Yeah.
And the maintenance company's not going to like Johnny on the spot anymore.
It was funny. Now that you mentioned that, like you can see where the good part of the shop is because
Right.
that's where all the Indians are
Yes.
and stuff. And then as you go that way, where the ceiling gets a little more
It gets
brown,
pretty bad.
It's all the plastic bikes.
No, it's pretty bad.
So-
It's pretty
Yeah.
bad in there.
So for those of you under say 30 playing the home game,
Yeah.
malls used to be this thing where you went to that actually had all the stores. So those of you over 60 remember it used to be called downtown.
Yeah.
And then at our age they moved them to this giant building in the middle of nowhere out in the suburbs. And then now they're rebuilding downtowns again, like the place out here.
No, I mean, well, the idea now is you take the retail center and you build a town
Yeah, they're building
onto it. You create a town that doesn't exist.
Because what's the
Cracker
property
Park.
next? Yeah, Crocker Park.
Yeah.
So they've recreated downtown, but it's
They just
new.
made a quaint shopping village.
Yeah.
But you can live there. Yeah, it's very strange. It's very strange.
So
Yeah.
So the response was always, why don't they take the old malls and put apartments in them?
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, because
The roof leaks.
Westfield Mall isn't there to pay for the maintenance of it anymore.
Yeah.
And people just didn't have an understanding about when you have a 500,000 square feet of roof and 2 feet of snow,
And it's flat.
you're going to have problems. Right.
And all the zombie movies, they move them in. You know,
Yeah, that's all. You can always tell the mall's about to go away because you're like, they're filming a zombie movie in
Yeah.
here. And you're like, yeah, that place is that's
That's-
it's going away.
Pretty much the
Yeah.
answer.
Yep, that's the end of it all. Big news in the world of Royal Enfield as they launching a bike, and then they're putting out the Bear. And at first, I thought this was a risky thing for them.
Oh, it's a women's bike.
I just thought
Well, they're
it was,
choosing the Bear.
I thought it was for chubby, hairy guys.
Oh gosh.
You know, and I thought it was just, but it turns out there's a reason for the name, and
That's not the most attractive picture of the bear. I saw a better looking picture of the
So
bear.
so you've made this you've set this up, and Sean's not
Right.
here to knock it down.
Right, Sean's not here. Right, Sean's not here. You guys know there's an Interceptor 650 I have at my shop right now that we just took it on trade, and it's a fun bike. I rode it before the snow started falling, and I don't have super big problems with it.
Yeah.
We had a lot of problems with the Pushrod 500 Royal Enfields. We had a lot of problems with that. The first generation Himalayas, I had some problems with
Those, incidentally, I did want to take off road.
Yes, I would actually be excited about taking those off road. The big single thumper. But the funny thing about the Bear is what happens to Royal Enfield. Those are some of the hokiest hand signals I've seen in a long time. Yes, exactly. This is like insert fleshlight. Yeah, that's it.
that's more like insert can.
Right, rotate can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put can in my can holder.
Did you see the KFC flashlight?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah, we bought
I
one
did.
for Ian.
Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, that's where we have gone as a society.
Does the lube smell like chicken?
Anything from KFC smells like KFC. Even if you bought something at KFC that wasn't supposed to smell like KFC, it smells like KFC. Yeah, that smell gets on everything.
It is finger looking good.
You can't have KFC once in your car,
Oh God!
and you'll sell the car 10 years later, and people are like, you ate KFC.
You know, I'm gonna regret saying this, but what's his name?
Not as much as we were going. to.
Yeah.
That's true. Ah, shit! I can't remember his name. That asshole from New Orleans is not me.
No,
Monaco
oh, yeah, okay. All
had a
right.
song KFC Tom, and I fucking wish I still had it
Oh my goodness.
because it'd
yeah.
be perfect for right now.
Well, there you have it. The anywho, back to motorcycles.
Moving right along.
So the Bear, it turns out the Bear is what Triumph did with the Bonneville to make the Scrambler. The folks at Royal Enfield have done to the Interceptor 650 to make it the Bear. And I had to read the whole thing before I just was like, the gay community is going to love this bike. because I was going to be like, the next bike is going to be the 750 Power Bottom, right? I just couldn't, with new
like I said,
special brown starfish
this-
technology, right?
After this past year, though, I'm telling you, it's a women's bike. They're choosing the Bear.
I get it.
Yeah.
I
I know, I get it.
totally get it.
Eddie Mulder won when he was 16 years old.
16 years old stuntman, right? Stuntman. And this was a race that existed around the town of Big Bear.
You know, I had a bike that was called a Big Bear. It was a Yamaha Big Bear Scrambler.
Yes, I have some Big Bear parts in my parts pile.
I think Bruce has 2 Big Bears right now.
Then I will give him all the parts in my Big Bears. I thought I was at a swap meet and I was like, someday I'm going to come across a Yamaha Big Bear. I'm going to buy that thing. I'm going to be really happy to have 2 perfect condition wheels, right? A set of exhausts. Like I bought some cool parts for a Big Bear
Yeah.
that somebody had taken off of a perfectly good Big Bear to make it like a cafe racer.
Right.
So I've got I got the factory wheels. I got the pipes. I got some good Big Bear parts.
Nice.
So I'll
Big
give them to
Bear.
Bruce.
You just don't have the big
I just
Bear.
never bought the Big Bear.
Nice.
I just
Yes,
never came upon
2
one.
with titles.
Jesus
He
Christmas.
bought a bike, and then the parts bike
Right.
also came with the title.
Yeah, well, I think I've got 2 beautiful Big Bear wheels, like the whole deal, like the whole shooting match. So anyway, kind of interesting. What they did was they just put some different shocks on it. Check out the picture, man. They put 249 as the number plate because that was the number the guy used to run. That was the number he ran. Still kind of phoning it in on the exhaust business down there in the expensive crunchy zone.
Do they not understand that like that alone can cheapen the look of a bike?
You do remember that when we turned the G400C into a scrambler, the first thing we did was put the exhaust where it was supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And make it not look like a little like pea shooting tube with a
Right.
plastic bubble on the end.
Right.
Yeah.
We got a XR350 header pipe.
Right.
With the 2-into-1.
Yeah. No, it
And
looked good.
We welded that into an actual scrambler pipe, and it
Mhm.
looked great. It sounded terrifying,
Mhm.
but it to me means like if you're going to call it a scrambler, it should be able to do things. One, it should be able to wheelie on the grass. Step one means you have traction. And two, the exhaust pipe shouldn't be destroyed the first time you hit a little rock.
Right.
Right.
Or go into like 6 inches of water.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this
Scramblers
is,
shouldn't go.
right. And they did put a motocross handlebars on this, but here we are. So apparently, though, they did some other stuff, to make it scramblery. I can't tell. I think it has an 18 on the back and a 19 on the front, if I'm not mistaken. But it's got his color frame that he liked and the white gas tank with the checkerboards. But that's the Bear using
Sky's making a comeback.
What's that?
Sky's making a comeback.
Sky's making a comeback. Checkerboards on the gas tank, right? Yeah, two-tone, baby. The when this bike falls over you, pick it up. This is not exciting me that much, but of course, journalists being journalists, they had to take it off road, and this one actually looks kind of cute.
Yeah, that's a picture.
Yeah, that's a cool looking bike, right?
Yeah.
That's cool looking. It basically looks like what anybody could do by buying the Interceptor 650 and putting a knobby on the front, a knobby on the back, and a little oval on the side.
It's not hideous.
No, it's not bad.
Well, the Interceptor's a cool looking little bike too. So it's
it is.
they've done a good thing with the bodywork.
Well, we're going to get to that. But while we have the Bear pulled up here, apparently some motorcycle journalists decided to actually do the thing you're not supposed to do with it.
Ride it
in the dirt.
Oh, I just meant ride in general.
No, we know these work. I mean, I beat the hell out of the one we've got in the shop for quite a while. They do go. I mean, they kind of almost go 100 miles an hour. But here's the thing: they actually took it in the dirt, and that didn't go well. So,
Well, I mean, with a whole 5.1 inches of travel, I mean,
True.
one of the quotes was,
they extended the swing arm by 1 inch.
they couldn't get the vehicle to pick up its front wheel to go over, a twig, right?
Yeah.
That's bad. That's bad. When you need to make the front wheel go up in the air so that you can go over an obstacle and the bike won't make the front wheel go up in the air, then we kind of have a problem. So did not go well for their off-road adventure. Again, here we have it.
So they screwed up calling it a scrambler and should have just called it a brat.
Yeah, and all the scramblers that are out there. We took issue with the Triumph Scrambler.
I was just going to say it's not much different than some of the other.
That's
crap
exactly
that they're
right.
calling a scrambler.
When we were doing our Moto Guzzi Scrambler, the V7 Scrambler, which would wheelie in the grass and did have an exhaust that was up and out of the way and that couldn't be harmed by rocks and twigs and logs. That 750 Moto Guzzi at 400 pounds, it did scramble. We took it in the woods behind the shop in Mentor and we scrambled the fuck out of it.
Did
And
that thing catch on fire like purposely?
we did burn it.
Yeah.
We gave it the rite of passage. We
Yep.
gave it the rite of fire.
I remember that.
It was good, right? And it did perform off-road the way that it was supposed to. Apparently, the Ursa here, not so much. So there we go. Although not a true adventure bike, the Bear 650's capabilities off-road.
I see what you did there, Ursa.
Mhm. Yes. It was able to nudge the speedo over the 100 mile per hour mark. That means technically it did the ton
plus or
minus speedo
10.
error.
You ever notice that most of the time it's not it's like if you're doing 90, it's not showing you 80.
No, it ain't. It ain't showing you 80. No, they're only wrong one way. Yeah. Honda made sure that in the old days, in the 1980s, when they came up with that whole thing,
I just always
we'll
say
allow them to be 10%
plus
off.
or minus.
Right, plus or minus
It's
10%. They're
never
never
the-
the other, never the other way.
Oh.
But I thought that was kind of interesting. It's a cool motorcycle that they just scrambler-fied an Interceptor. That's fine. But then I realized there was going to be an Interceptor 750. And when I saw that there was going to be an Interceptor 750, I became very excited because I've always wanted to own an Interceptor 750.
Like this original?
Like this one right here. I always wanted to own one of these because they're real pretty.
Yeah, that's sexy.
They're real pretty. And one of the years when we did the DGR, one of the producers of Cafe Racer magazine came out and did the ride with us. And he actually rode to see us from Pennsylvania on an Interceptor 750 and did the entire ride with us, including we did some bonus rides around the Metro Park and did some photo shoots and stuff like that. And I was riding the Royal Enfield, the newer Royal Enfield, and he was riding the older Royal Enfield. Merritt was riding the V7, and we had a great time. And then we changed bikes and went out on the GB and just had a really cool time. I really like the look of this motorcycle. I think it's super snazzy. The Interceptor 750 was my favorite thing. The Constellation and the Interceptors, I just think they're beautiful bikes. I think they have the lines just right.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good looking machine. So they're doing a new one. Interesting. The new one, which is not a 1968, it turns out the new one is in fact going to be for 2026, I think, or 2025. I'm not sure exactly, but it's not going to look like that. In fact, it's going to look like that. And I'm sorry, my friends, but that is an Interceptor 650 with a 17-inch front wheel, a double disc brake, an extra pipe coming out of the side, and everything else is exactly the same. It doesn't even have, if you guys remember the Continental GT that Royal Enfield did, but they had a very cool looking gas tank, which I might have put on this motorcycle just to have that historical nod to something cool in Cafe Racer. This has the same gas tank off the Interceptor 650.
You should have chromed everything.
Right? Yeah, they should have.
There's
right.
no chrome here.
There's no chrome on here at all. And with the 17-inch wheel on the front, it actually looks a little wonky. It looks a little lopsided.
Yeah.
It doesn't look great to me.
No.
And all you're picking up is 100 cc's. But here's the sick part. That only makes it 6 more horsepower than the 650. So aside from picking up 1 disc brake on the front end and 6 horsepower, that doesn't seem to me to be a very good deal.
The one in the hallway looks a whole lot cooler than this. It really does.
It does.
That is a cool little bike. Every time I walk by it, I'm like, that is a cool little bike.
And it's very lightweight. It's Indian.
You know what? I'll say it. It has personality. It exudes personality.
Well,
and it's just kind of a thing.
We kind of have a problem here, though, because this is 2025.
Yeah.
And in 1970, a company nobody's ever heard of called Yamaha made a motorcycle called the XS 650.
Yep.
Which had the exact same number of cc's as that Royal Enfield 650.
Yep.
But it made 10 whole more horsepowers, which means in 1970, that Yamaha made more horsepower than the brand new prototype 750 for Royal Enfield. So if Royal Enfield's 2025 is only throwing down 49 horsepower and the XS 650 from 55 years ago was making 10 more horsepower and had a documented top speed of over 105 miles per hour and a 5-speed gearbox, and it weighed 75 pounds less.
Yeah.
Wait a second. What's going on? What's happening?
Sleepy and I talked about this before the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I had the Bajaj Legend 4-stroke Indian import, the gray market. Because we were talking about Vespas earlier too.
Yeah.
And that actually keeps in line because Yamaha was looking for performance because they were trying to compete with Triumph.
Yamaha was looking to build a better Triumph motor than Triumph had.
Exactly.
Right.
Royal Enfield, their main market is still going to be India because they sell millions of bikes.
It's never not going to be India.
It's never not going to be India.
Right.
And in India, you and I and all of us, you and I both know, they don't care about speed or performance. What they care about is fuel economy.
Yeah, they don't have one
cool.
mile of rideable road.
Look cool, and get all the fuel economy.
That's true.
So when you're talking about a 650 being down on horsepower, what's it like on torque?
Right.
And that's not the number they worry about.
They did say that on the 750, what they did is they strengthened the frame at the neck.
Yeah.
Because we have seen, and I can pull them up, pictures of Royal Enfields where the front forks, the whole neck frame of the motorcycle broke.
Oh, it's the Ducati problem.
And they're breaking right at where the junction of the frame comes together, the tube. They're breaking right away from the frame tubes.
Yeah.
So they reinforced that. But I gotta say, like,
I don't think they're shooting for high speed. I think they're shooting for the low end torque,
right,
and for the fuel economy.
Yeah, we knew that when we were working on the Enfields, the push ride Enfields. When we were working on those, you'd get that thing to 75 miles an hour, and you just knew that its lifespan was going to be measured in minutes.
Yeah,
and that you knew that motorcycle was designed to have a super heavy flywheel and just chug along. When we were talking about that GB350 and GB500 Honda earlier on, in the advertising stuff for India and Asia, it says one of the reasons they say you want to buy this motorcycle is it has a very heavy flywheel, which means you can short shift the hell out of it.
Yep.
And short shifting the hell out of something is going to give you the best miles per gallon.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if they didn't just automatically turn the motor off at the gas lights, at the red lights, like that scooter we had here.
Because we've talked about this too. They're never going to build a special performance high speed version just for the 2000 they're going to sell in the States.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know, because when we think about, look, nobody's ever said I'm going to go to China where I can ride my motorcycle at 186 miles an hour.
Yeah,
right.
But these Chinese companies are building high performance motors now. They're building high performance engines that are over 1,000 cc's and cranking out over 130 horsepower.
Where's the real cost
Yeah.
in building a high performance motor and motorcycle? Where is, is it adding the extra valves? I mean, it's the engineering, it's the metallurgy, or is, what I mean? Like, is that where the real cost?
I think it is. And I think when we look at Triumph, we look at Honda, and everybody loves the parallel twin.
Mm-hmm.
And there were so many of them. It's because there's about half as many parts in there as in a 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
And it's not just half
but
as
this
many.
is a parallel twin. It's just not a great one.
Well, I mean,
it depends on what your market is.
Right. I'd say that if you want a motorcycle, their target was clearly to make it look every bit as much as a British.
And keep it cozy, keep it docile, keep it just an everyday, like really reliable.
And I'm going to bet you that when I talked about that 1970 Yamaha XS650, that I know had the Acront alloy wheels on it, the rain gutter rims, and all the cool stuff that was super nice. And I know that the stuff that's on here is going to be like bad. No, because we've seen it. Like, it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
That Interceptor 650 in our shop.
Oh yeah.
The rims on that thing, the wheels on it are just tragic.
Well, what was the old joke about Indian built Lambrettas? You were lucky if you got a wheel close to round.
Right. And we knew
and
that.
it hasn't gotten much better.
It hasn't got much better. They're like certain things like that. They're not meant to be.
But again, as you said,
140 miles per hour.
India does not have the infrastructure to support 110 miles an hour.
And I don't think they have any desire to do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not important.
Yeah.
It's not important to their culture. Right. Therefore, it's not going to bleed into into this bike.
The aesthetic of having a cool old Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that the bikes that are selling in India, surprisingly,
and that's not an attack.
Are
that's
the Harley
just is what it is.
Well, I mean, Indian is such a giant market that Harley Davidson is selling a lot of small displacement bikes there.
Yeah.
Because the name means something to the people there.
Yeah.
The history means something to the people there. And they have no desire to have a 1200 plus cc motorcycle for tax reasons. And you just don't need that kind of power, I don't think. I think that looking at that 1970 Yamaha, I'll bet you it got 39 miles to the gallon. And I'll bet you this Royal Enfield 750 probably gets 70 miles to the gallon. What's your Triumph get? Your 660?
Typically about 54.
About 54.
Yeah.
And how many horsepower is that?
80.
80, right? That's a pretty good return on your investment for 80 horsepower. To pull 80 horsepower for 54 miles per gallon. My Harley Davidson 103 cubic inch motor, if I get 34, 35 miles per gallon, I have really been babying it. I mean, really babying it.
I get 23 on my Tuano.
On your Tuano.
If I baby the Triumph, I
Yeah.
can get like 62.
Oh,
What are you-
man?
What's your average RPM on that on your Tuono though?
Yeah, not good. And I didn't take that into consideration when I was like, I got 5 gallons of gas in this thing,
No.
man. I'm good for whatever. We
You're
were in
not.
the middle of fucking nowhere in
Yeah.
southern Ohio.
Yeah.
And the gas light came on. And I'm like, how is this possible? I've only gone 115 miles.
Yeah, because when you keep your tachometer in the orange,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right, you're
Yeah.
not going to
So,
get
dude,
good miles per
I
gallon.
have it on film, man.
Yeah.
I pipe in the like nearest gas station,
Yeah.
right? And it's like 18 miles away, and I get the light on, and I'm like, oh fuck. And so I'm like, now I'm Captain 4,000 RPM.
Yeah.
brrr, you know,
Truck driver now.
yeah. And I get to the part where I can see the gas station, and I'm coming up to the stoplight, and the bike's like, and I had 500 feet to push it.
Do you know the car I drove here tonight?
I do not. I didn't
It's the
see it.
Pajero Junior.
Oh yeah.
It's got a 1 liter motor.
Yep.
So it has less motor than the Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
It has less motor than the FTR. It has less motor than your Tuono.
Yeah.
It has far less horsepower than any of those
Oh
motorcycles.
well, but it has all the extra tax.
However, what it does have apparently is a 9-gallon gas tank. The low fuel light comes on at 7. So every time I'm driving this thing and I get to 300 kilometers, which is not a lot.
No.
Right. So when I get to 300 kilometers, which is the wrong end of 180 miles,
Mhm.
the light comes on and I'm like, oh man, and the light came on here, right? I just, pulling onto your street. So the light came on and I was like, oh man.
You got another 2 days to go.
Oh yeah.
Well, so I don't want to trust it, Chris, because it's winter time and things don't run efficiently. So when you have a motor, and the reason I wanted to say that is because last week when the light came on and I went to the gas station and the temperatures were very normal, right? They weren't 12 or 14. When I went to the gas
New
station,
Orleans
Yeah.
temperatures.
right, New Orleans,
37.
nearly as cold as New Orleans.
Yeah.
When I went to the gas station and after the light had come on, she took 7 gallons and I averaged about 28 miles to the gallon, 29 miles to the gallon, right? But now every time I'm driving this thing, it takes it so much longer to get from 12 degrees to operating temperature. And that whole time you're not at operating temperature, your motor's running incredibly inefficient.
Oh yeah.
Right. So I looked at the odometer when the light came on. I looked at the odo and I'm like, well, I filled up last time at 300K, which is not a lot of miles. And this time I'm at 260K. So 260K is not very far for a car. Right. And so now I realize that, when the temperatures are really cold, and I do need to do the trick where I put a piece of cardboard in front of the grill so my motor can get up to operating temperature quicker.
Oh yeah.
And, not just because when you only have a 1 liter motor, you're caning it 100% of the time.
But
When you're at the stoplight, quit revving the motor.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
know
what
it.
just do it. Yeah.
Waving bills out the window and stuff like that.
Oh, you put this thing in 4-wheel drive, you're getting like 9.
I literally cannot get the Civic
Yeah.
up to temperature before I get to the shop.
No way in hell.
The heater's not even cold, not even warm yet.
Of course not. Yes. Yeah, I could walk from the shop to
I
here and
know.
it would be faster than
Faster
warming
than
that car
warming
up.
the car
Yeah,
up.
it would be.
And then you would
faster.
warm yourself up.
I know, right? You'd be totally fine. But I've realized that I was like, man, I'm just getting really lousy mileage out of a
Yeah.
1 liter little Mitsubishi.
Well, you're flogging that thing at 70 mile an hour on the interstate.
I am going 70 miles an hour, and it doesn't like it.
The Civic's at least 600 cc's more than that.
Its power to weight ratio is awful. I mean, when I had the canoe strapped to it last year, I could not get over 70 miles per hour. And I had a kayak on the roof. I had a kayak on the roof and it would not go. Oh, yeah. The lift was dramatic.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't like I had it the wrong way. I had it upside down. I'm no idiot.
Strong wind. The whole thing just
Oh, it
flies
was
off the road.
terrible. It was fucking awful, man. It was not good.
Because it's literally, so for those of you playing the home game, it's the size
Nobody's
of
playing.
it's
Yeah.
the size
Just
of,
understand. Nobody's
size
playing.
of the Geo Tracker
It's
with
exactly the same size as Suzuki Samurai.
with less motor.
Yeah, it's a Suzuki Samurai. But the American version got like the 1.3 liter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is
600.
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
one, okay.
No, this is not. I do have the K car version with 600.
Yeah.
With 660.
Yeah.
This one is straight up 1 liter, and it is so anemic.
It's like if you put the Mitsubishi Raider in the dryer and shrunk it.
Yeah,
Which is
it
crazy. All you need is a donor S1000 from a BMW motor in that thing. Start singing.
Anything
for
would
you.
be an improvement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think they say it's 73 horsepower, but I think a few have escaped the
Doesn't
stable.
Predator make some motors that would probably
Dude, you should power it with that V-twin Harbor Freight
Oh,
fucking
man.
680
The
cc.
knockoff Vanguard, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that would be
that
something.
would be dope.
That would be pretty.
Well, if we still had the
Hey, let me-
the Acti with a bad motor, that would
I'll,
be the way
pick,
to go.
I'll pick you up. All right, hold on. Hold the hood.
And the thing is, I put chunky tires on it
Yeah.
because I wanted to have Geolanders on it,
Oh yeah.
and it hates it. I mean, it hates it. The speedometer's deadly accurate now,
Yeah.
you know, because of the chunkier tires, but they're wider. And wider tires do not make you go more efficiently.
No.
They make you go way less efficiently.
You like the front probably goes like it's hunting,
No, they're
right?
fine. It's like it
Really?
drives great.
Okay.
It's just you've ridden bicycles,
Yes.
right? And your bicycles that you're riding have narrow tires. And if we took the narrow tires off your bicycle and put big fat tires on there,
Like a fat tire, buddy.
you'd be
had
having
one.
a lot less fun pedaling it.
Yeah, it's harder to push through,
Yeah.
but with
Well,
certain
ge-
snow, it definitely lets you float on top compared to
Okay,
going down.
sure. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But they didn't give this car any extra motor to compensate for the chunky tires.
generally with
Mm.
snow, you don't want to float on top. You want tiny pizza cutters
Pizza
that cut
cutters,
through
man.
the snow and get down
Yeah.
to the hard.
Except if you're in New Orleans, and then it's
I mean, if you're
a
going
lot
across
warmer
the-
down there.
I did just watch the Jeremy Clarkson the Arctic Adventure where they took the Hilux to the
Yeah.
North Pole
That was good.
race. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it was
Pure flotation, man.
yeah.
Pure
I mean, they
flotation.
said those tires had what, like 8 pounds of pressure in
Pure
them, but they're
flotation.
made of balloons.
Yeah. Pure. Just that's all you want. You just want to.
I found the
boing.
the
Yeah.
Top Gear channel, and so I've been watching old Top
Me
Gears.
too. It's the
Yeah.
free one on like TV or
Yeah,
whatever.
like 307 or something
Yeah.
on LGTV.
Oh, I'll lose an afternoon to some good old school like
I lost like 2 solid days, 48
back
hours.
before Clarkson was a multi-millionaire.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And everybody, they're so young looking. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, he's younger than me.
but it's
Oh,
fun to
disco
watch.
pants, and a fro.
But it's fun to
my
watch his gut because
Uh.
it's so glorious now. It just like his shirts used to kind of bulge out, and now it like they hang like 2 feet in front of him. Like it's amazing.
He's eating good.
He has.
He's
He
eating
has.
good.
He
I
also
was-
hasn't seen his penis in like fucking 20 years, man.
I was watching the our snow day video, and I was like, oh, Macklefresh, look at you.
Yeah.
You were very pumped.
How's the pond looking?
I was
It's
gonna.
good.
I almost
It's-
sent a text today,
Is it-
yesterday.
It's pretty fucking solid, man.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Hmm,
Dude, it's been
interesting.
like let me put it this way. I don't know what the temperature is here in the morning.
Yeah.
When I got up for work this morning, I go and start my car just to make sure it's going to start.
Right. That's a good move.
It was 2.
Yeah. This morning when I woke up, it was 1.5 inches
Yeah.
in my pants.
Yeah. Because it was that
chilly.
cold.
It was cold.
Dr. Waters said
I
too.
went outside. And it was chilly.
Your wife was saying
It
it's
was
shrinkage.
cold.
I get it,
I
baby.
promise
understand
it was so shrinkage. Yeah. It was mighty chilly. It's been, I guess it's up to 23 right now, but it feels like 14, Tom.
Yeah,
So
but it's a dry cold.
We had one morning. That one morning was like 9 degrees.
It's
I
like-
was at work.
It's like New Mexico.
Poor Tom.
Like New
It was
Mexico. It's a
cold.
dry cold.
it is heating up though. It is looking
It
like
is.
There was a
tomorrow.
weird fog at 7. I was leaving
Yeah.
for work at 7, and
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
going down this country road, and it was like everything's dry because it's so cold.
Yeah.
But there was this weird, like, kind of creepy, like horror movie fog floating around. I'm like,
Steve,
what is that?
that's you
That's just
tooting up
just-
before you
just-
get on the road.
Steve just exhaled into his car.
Steve, did you wake and bake?
I just watched
No.
that video and I'm like, that was one of the funnest days of my life. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I enjoyed that. a
We
lot.
had so much fun that day, dude.
And also watching Oscar discover sudden deceleration.
The bars. He reshaped the handlebars.
Just
man.
watching him stop so suddenly. Bike stop. Oscar kept going.
The best part, though, there was 230 feet of no problem.
Nope.
And 3 inches of
He
like you don't
found-
hit that spot.
The worst spot. He found the worst spot to hit. Not even like couldn't have tried harder.
No.
You found the worst damn spot.
We
Yeah.
Actually I should have stopped it, and he could have been on that scorpion board because there was definitely scorpion,
Full scorpion.
going on. Yeah.
Full scorpion. Yeah, I agree. That was well earned acrobatics going on there.
was.
Yeah, it was super fun. I'm looking forward to going out and doing a little bit more of that. That was
Yeah.
super fun. The and I've never taken the screws out of my bike.
No, they're there.
So they're all still there.
Good.
So the
Yeah.
carbide screws are still in my bike.
Right there.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
every
every
time you
time-
walk
Same
down
with
the tunnel.
Johnny's.
It drags
Johnny
your- it
Max
drags
has
your
got the
pant leg.
screws too.
For whatever reason, I was like, I got that bike over at Cinch's house. Well,
Right.
What do I do with that? And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd like to take it on the pond.
I would
yeah,
like-
yeah, it's
yeah.
there.
Put
It's
it
ready to go.
back to where it needs
We
to be.
probably want to give the carb a kick. It probably ran at Mid
I
Ohio.
ran. No, that bike. The last time I rode it, it ran, and I shut it off and ran it empty. So it might be
all right.
okay.
I
but
haven't touched it, to be honest with
But
you.
Are there
I
still,
know guys who could probably clean the carburetor.
I know, yeah.
are there still bikes over
Can I
at
hire them?
Offert's,
Will they clean them for me?
Yes.
yeah.
I actually quite frequently or still ride Nick's old makes and breaks it,
Oh, really?
and that's sitting over there. I try to start it
Cool.
up every once in a while.
Oh,
and
that's
give it a toot.
rad.
And then Oscar's bike, the orange one, is in the garage over there with a busted lever or something.
Throttle.
on it.
Yeah. Clutch lever. Or
Oh,
something,
I'll
something
bring one
minimal.
over.
I know we have a bunch of spares
Well,
for that.
it's not really going anywhere. It should probably go somewhere.
It should go somewhere and get a little.
You
laps
let me
put on
know,
it.
and I'll
Right.
deliver it.
Yeah, bring it
yeah.
over. We'll fix it up and we'll make it part of for if people want to ride in the summer.
part of the
or whatever.
stable?
Okay, maybe at some point because
Well, we're gonna do the
Can we-
decathlon.
can we put a
fucked
chicken
up
on
and
top
didn't
of
do the decathlon last year, so that could be the decathlon bikes. We'll have a couple to pick from.
okay. Well, that's whatever. I mean,
All right.
Yeah, I'm. There's definitely. I think. we're-
I mean, Nick's bike's sitting outside with my
Oh.
quad.
Oh,
God.
the
It's all
whore.
right.
blasphemy.
The whore.
It's
blasphemy.
well, we're doing
Did
some
you
research.
ACF 50?
You know how no. You know how they have the body farms and stuff.
Yes.
So that's what's going on there.
Is there mushrooms growing on?
Absolutely, it's actually holding up pretty well. You'd be surprised.
Okay.
If it was
The,
getting bad, I'd do something about it, but mostly it seems okay.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
I understand. Yeah.
Well, what
My
am I,
OCD is kicking in. I want to go polish it now, man.
well, what am I supposed to do?
Right. That's exactly right.
I
What
got
are you supposed
bikes
to
you
do?
can polish.
Yeah.
I've caretaken it. I've hauled it places. I've made it
Right.
show up
Bring
here
it.
and
Just
there.
bring it
Yeah,
over.
bring it
I have
over to
room.
Cinch's.
Just
Well,
bring
then
it
if it's
there.
over there, I can't ride it.
Right.
Well,
There
if
you
you're
go.
riding
See?
it, that's fine then.
Right.
It's better off where it's at right now. Trust me.
Okay.
My quad runner is sitting right there
Yeah.
beside it. My
It's got a
Keeping
friend.
it.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Keeping it.
Okay.
Keeping it happy. Before we go out.
You come over to the compound and meet me, and we'll ride everything.
Yeah, let's
See?
do that.
That's a good
You
move
tell
too.
me when.
So there have been some updates from SSR. And the reason I want to bring this up is somebody needs to pull the chain of the guys at SSR because they have new SSR pit bikes that I can order, but they're not on their website yet. And I've just, I've kind of hollered about it. I kind of made some noise about it.
Is there a picture? Or can we see this?
No,
or-
that's the problem.
Oh.
Okay. So you go to their website and the only pictures that show up on the I'm going to cast it out here so everybody can see it. The only pictures that show up are the old bikes. And I'm going to tell you, these bikes are 2022, 2023. They're the ones we have, right? They've been around for a long time.
Those are garbage.
Well, but John, the new ones all have electric start.
Oh, those aren't garbage.
The new ones all have upside down forks.
Oh, I want that.
Don't we?
Yeah.
Right. And the new ones are only like $200 or $300 more.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So there's a lot of things that are happening there, and they're making some really cool stuff, but it's just they're not escaping to us. They're not coming out. Like the pictures aren't there. They have got a new series called the XD, and the XD, man, that XD sure does look like it should have somebody else's name on it, but it's a pretty rad bike. And we're talking $2,399 for a dirt bike with upside down forks and all the good stuff, electric start. That's not a pit bike. That's not a pit bike size bike. That's a real proper dirt bike. So I know we joke all the time, like you're not supposed to jump pit bikes. There's a lot of things you're not supposed to do with pit bikes. This is the new bike from SSR. And at $2,399, 150cc 4-stroke with electric start.
Oh, I want that.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You getting those in?
Electric and kickstart, $23.99 a piece.
That's worth breaking
11
into your shop to steal it.
Fuck.
Well, it sure is, right? 17 on the front, 14 out back, 5-speed, right?
Oh, we're gonna look like a bike gang at Mid Ohio.
28 mil
These
carb,
fucking things.
right? Okay. So, but there's more. There's more.
But
than-
wait,
There's
yeah.
more.
There are more. But the problem is they don't have them on the website yet.
Oh.
And I'm kind of angry at them right now for not having their website dialed in. because they have so many cool new SSRs, but they just aren't putting them out there. They're not putting them out where people can see them. And that's unfortunate. I mean, that's a real problem that they don't have the whole lineup represented, because I got people calling my shop that want to buy them.
Are they in production?
They are,
Okay.
but they're not arriving. And
That's like an XR 150L.
Yeah, it really is.
It really, really is. And
It'd be interesting to see what the price point is.
that's $23.99.
$23.99.
Yeah, that's $23.99.
I think that XL is only like 31 or something like that.
I
That's a G less though, and it's the same. I mean, dude, you know the quality. Well, I got to see this.
Right.
But I mean, let me put it this way. I'm sure they're probably being made in the same place that my Buscadero was made, and that fucking thing is awesome. That is the best little bike I've ever sat on, rode. I've beaten the shit out of it what
You're
is it?
full of shit about most things except that.
No, but dude, at
That
that
bike's
scooter,
amazing.
at the fucking scooter rally, I
Yeah.
did like 1,000 hour, 1,000 laps on that
Absolutely.
thing at full 65-mile-an-hour fucking tilt, and that
Right.
thing is perfect.
So that's the thing, is like there's an R series that, you know, the SSR, remember our SSR 125s?
Mhm.
Well, you can get it now as a 140.
Oh, sick.
Oh, and you can get a big wheel.
All right.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And it's electric start. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's got upside down forks. That's pretty cool. Fully adjustable rear shock. That's pretty cool. Stronger double bar steel frame. That's pretty cool. Right? And it's CARB approved, so you can own it in California now. So that to me is pretty freaking cool.
I wonder. So this all sounds like the Pitstop Pro stuff too.
It sure
'cause
does.
They did the 190 big wheel. They did the 140 big wheel.
Yep.
I wonder if it's because that stuff was supposed to be pretty quality.
In order to find this stuff, you've got to go in through a dealer link that I've got, and you've got to go in there. You can throw this up to the people at home. I'm okay with them seeing this. So this is the new version of what we have. And this is available as an SR 125, but also available as
Also, fuck that seat.
What seat?
You're absolutely right. That is a terrible, terrible
What's the
seat.
big wheel? Is that what we don't have big wheel? We have normal wheel.
This is a 17 on the front and a 14 out back.
All right.
Yep, 17 in the
We
front,
have
14 out
12
back.
and
12 and
14.
14.
Okay.
Correct. So this is going to make this bike a little more fun, a little more rowdy.
That'll be a little wheelier.
Techno Racing says he sent you an email about Z lacing spoke wheels. No, don't worry, he finally got the problem solved
You figured it out.
without any of our help and
Oh,
everything,
good for him.
because we fucked him over. He
'Cause it
ordered
was
some from
all our
Sweden.
fault.
He laced the original wheels. P.S. Screw lacing Z spoke wheels.
That's right. I totally agree. Yeah. It's not something I would ever say that I know anything about. Yeah, not at all. So the SR 125 version of that is $17.99. So that price is only gone up about $300 from the ones we have. So for $300, you get an electric start, you get bigger wheels, you get more suspension, you get upside down front forks, you get adjustable everything, adjustable rear suspension too. We didn't have that, right?
Mine does because I changed it, but that's
So a 140 RB or a 125 RB, that's a pretty cool thing. I mean, not for nothing. That's pretty rad.
they're sexy too, man. Look at that plastic.
They are sexy. Yeah, bold new graphics.
No, that plastic.
It's totally different. It's totally different. So, but that's something I'll be like, hey man, let's
What's
get that out.
Oh, closed airbox now.
It
Look
is a
at
little different,
that.
right? Airbox is a little different. Yeah,
The frame looks beefier too.
the
in
frame looks a
middle there.
lot beefier. The frame does look a lot beefier, and it's got a double down tube frame, which is going to make it a lot stronger.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
What's the weight on this schmooze?
Oh, 178 pounds.
Ah,
So
okay.
178.
Still under 2 bills.
It's 178 for the 140.
About a
and-
third of your weight there, Steve.
Yeah, right. There you go. So pretty solid, pretty cool looking bike. Very impressed by it. Was kind of like, yeah, that's all right. You know, you can't get hurt too badly by that. The they also have, outside of the SR family, SR is just the pit bikes. They also have some legit dirt bikes, and in the legit dirt bike camps, we're going to be seeing some stuff
that is.
Do you have access to the legit dirt bike
I
stuff?
sure do.
Interesting.
Sure do. They've got a XD250 and they've got a SR300S. And I think that's kind of the thing where when I see we'll show you this. This is another one. SR450S, the big boy toys, right? The big boy toys. I don't know why you'd need much more than this. This is all the things.
But how much is that?
$54.99.
And that's a four. So yeah, that's about
A
a 10
CRF 450 is
10
like 10
grand.
grand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
10 or
that's
12.
my point.
So that is about half price.
About half price. And if you're not the kind of guy who's going to be out in the dirt using it a whole hell of a lot, this might be a nice way to get into the game. 43.5 horsepower. Now this does have a carburetor, so it is a carbureted bike.
No, that's out of my. No way. I would if it's not a pit bike.
Yeah.
I can't accept that.
I can't accept it.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I can't accept it.
You had me up until no fuel injection, man.
The SR300 is $45.99. So $45.99 on that one.
Yeah.
So, but it is definitely.
They do have a street legal dual sport one that's like a 250 or something, or
SSR.
yeah.
You know what? I'll have to look at that because I think they definitely do the 250.
You'd think you'd know.
You would, being a dealer and all. They do the chunky tire 250 and then they do the street. I remember briefly looking at the street, and we'll pull up the chunky tired one. So that's going to set you, John. That's going to set you back $3,400 hairs.
Nice.
$3,400.
That's very reasonable.
That is pretty cheap for a street bike. A bike with a title, a bike with mirrors.
Well, that's more reasonable than I would be.
Yeah, I mean that's a motorcycle right there.
Dual
sport
TW 200, man.
It sure does look like it, except for it's a 250.
Motherfuckers want that much for their old clapped out 1986.
They sure do. And this is fully adjustable forks, right? This is 18 horsepower.
What's a TW?
Not 18 horsepower. Significantly less than 18
Right.
horsepower.
Right.
I can tell you, I didn't use the real dyno, but my ass dyno is thinking 12.
Yeah. Right.
The ass dyno's 12, 12.5.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
On a good day.
Yeah. It is not a powerful
You get
bike.
some good air density. You can get a couple extra bones out of it.
Yeah, I can promise you that my TW200, going 70, a Buddy 125, they're punching about equal on that. They
Nice.
really are.
Nice.
Yeah, if you're on a TW200 and a guy in a Buddy 125 wants to race you for pinks, don't do it. You're probably, if you get away with it, my hat's off to you.
There you go.
I remember when we read the stats and they said TW, it goes 75 or 80 miles an hour. No, not the one I got. Apparently the one I got's broken. The brand newish one that I got does not like doing even 75. At 75, it's making very strange mechanical noises. But yeah, it's a real motorcycle you can buy for $34.59. There you go. And it's got chunky tires. That's kind of fun. It says that the tire is oh my. That is an 18 on the front, and the wheel, it doesn't give you the tire size, but the wheel is a 410 and the wheel on the back is a 460.
That's
So,
chunky.
That's fucking chunky, baby. That's a chunky tire. That is it. That is not messing around. Well, that's cool. Anybody got anything else?
Not off the top of my head.
Not at all.
But I think what we're going to try to do, for those, we have a few people listening, is we're going to take this more seriously.
I think
start
we will.
doing the live. We're going to get a little more excited about this. This got us excited, I think, today.
This has made it more fun. And being
Yeah.
able to throw the images around has made it a lot easier.
Yeah, so we're going to bring in some stuff. Your chats are going to be able to be thrown up on the
Right.
screen. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff the next few weeks. So
I'm
hang with
excited
us.
to see that.
Grow
too.
with us. You guys can be the OGs that hung
Yeah.
out.
All you guys on the chat, I mean, do you have any questions or anything? Let's see if there's anything else that they have to say.
Yeah, we've only made it through 488 episodes.
Right.
So 13 years, 488
It's
episodes.
time to step
It's
up.
time
the
to really
game.
step up the game.
We're gonna
Give
get
out
some.
that
We're gonna get some
quality
purple
product.
neon in here, some fur. Start wearing some 3/4 length pants.
Really start showing
Yeah.
off, right?
I don't think I even have a tech tip I could scrounge out of it. No, I don't.
Yeah,
That says it.
well, what I think, what I can tell you is the past couple of 3 weeks, it's been quiet.
Mhm.
Around. Well, we've been pulling off the occasional sale. I did sell the flat black Super Cub.
Oh.
which was pretty cool. That 2022 Super Cub, a guy in Maryland bought it, had to have it. It's a 1-year color. That's why he wanted it. Super clean bike, lots of fun. He straight up mailed me the money. He wants it. That's cool. Another guy bought a Vespa just because he's angry. And yeah, he lives out in the hinterlands, like out by, Lucas County or somewhere. And he said, I'm just tired of these Harley assholes. I want a Vespa. I want to ride around on a Vespa. I used to race dirt bikes and all this other stuff. I want a Vespa. I'm going to ride around. I'm going to get the most bodacious Harley Davidson leathers. I'm going to get chaps and I want to ride a Vespa around and piss these guys off. And I'd be like, dude, you wouldn't even be a blip on our radar. You show up like that. You got to roll so hard to get our attention at Cleveland Moto. We get guys showing up on shitty motorcycles who are like on their 29th state.
Yeah.
On the worst bike they could have chosen.
I have found the worst Honda Hawk 400.
Right.
And I'm going to ride it to
There are
Mexico.
dudes showing up at the Dusk Till Dawn bar saying that they have a fetish for dildos.
Right. Yeah. And meanwhile,
yeah, you're like,
you got sex machine sitting over there.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Wesley
Yeah.
Witt says so much improvement on something that was already great.
Oh, well,
man.
thank you so very much. That's it. That was what Steve was waiting for. Steve was waiting for a little gratuitous love.
He is now full release.
So
Was he ever not?
No. You
sometimes when
you
you
should have seen him doing the nipple thing earlier with this
when,
thing.
when people use the old bat phone number, it doesn't have their phone. So give us your phone number when you use the bat phone thing. I don't know. This might be Patty. He says, Jesus Christ, from last week. Jesus Christ, I almost hit a ditch laughing about Mark being the sound of a hair-lipped dog.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
And I didn't even think about it. That's just kind of one of my go-tos. Merc. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, that happens. That's just a weird thing.
That just comes with your
Patreon
It's just part of your
subscription.
pay. Yeah. You get that at the $5 level.
Yeah.
That was just a little throwaway, man. That was throwaway. Vespa's launched the new Vespa 946 Snake because it is the year of the snake. When that was the year of the dragon, we had a dragon. When it was the year of the bunny, we had a bunny.
So what does the 946 stand for?
946 actually is a throwback to the original Vespa model that was 46 cc's. It was in 1946, and the 946 Snake. I'm a snake. I'm a snake.
Again,
I'm a very sneaky
we
snake.
we don't have Sean
Heck Go
here.
Racing says we come a long way. He's been listening since about episode 50.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
There it
Yeah. The Vespa 946 Snake. The Vespa 946 Snake. It is this 946 platform. They basically keep it around now for ultra limited edition bikes because it's heavier than it should be. It's not as fast as
And
it should be.
it's only a 150, which always depressed me.
It is very depressing, and it is no shit $13,499. $13,499 bucks for a bike. Now, at least it has a snake on the fender.
Yeah.
Which I'll give you that. It is a satin silver color. It is very, very pretty,
Yeah.
right? But it has a snake on the side. Snake. I'm a snake.
I have sworn for
I'm a very
years.
sneaky snake.
I've sworn for years I'm gonna find one of these at Copart or somewhere.
That's a
just fucking
sneaky
cheap
snake.
as shit and make the world's best cut down.
Well, the Christian Dior version of this is $24,000.
I know.
Right? And it's just gaudy. It's just fucking awful. But here's the part that gets me into the anger factor. Okay, yeah, sure. $13,499 for a 150cc Vespa that I have ridden on the freeway, and I can confirm it goes 67 miles an hour.
What's a snake capsule?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Remember that flashlight thing you were talking about earlier?
This is the best.
Would you like to see my snake capsule?
Yes.
There's my snake capsule.
Oh god.
Oh my!
It is
God.
actually a snake snuggie. It is a thing that you
And
put.
How many thousands is the snake capsule?
I don't know.
Oh, look at that helmet.
Hold on. I have a
You're
thing
gonna
for
get on
that.
the team.
There is a price list for the Vespa 946 accessories. Because you should. It's real. The Vespa 946 accessories, I hope they're priced. I hope the pricing is up there. They're not. I have to pull it up so we can. Oh, here we go. We have it. We have it. My God, we can share it with the folks at home. Oh, this is going to make me so happy because I'm a snack. A snack.
There is a designer culture that somebody at Vespa has grabbed onto.
Yes.
Yeah, they watched the I'm a snake.
I'm a snack.
I don't, because they're the pictures of these guys with the high neck jackets and
Yes.
the lumpy sweaters and everything else. There's something going on in Italy that I know. Italy's got a little thing, but with culture, but they're couture.
Couture, man.
But goddamn,
All
this
right.
stuff is
Are
just.
you ready?
So wait, what does any of this have to do with the fucking scooter?
Hold on.
Oh, it does.
Hold on. It's the snack. Bomber jacket. It's not made of leather. It's made of sateen.
I bought 3 Vespas
It's
at one time.
It's $1,590. It's $1,590 damn dollars.
like-
Come on, man. Come on.
Who is? I legitimately want to know who's buying this. Like, I really want to know somebody is buying this.
I
shit.
know who it's not.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I like all the protection that all these outfits offer to you while you're riding your snack.
Your snack. Okay.
Why isn't that?
The long sleeve t-shirt,
I don't know.
$210 for a fucking t-shirt. $210.
Something must be replaying.
The snake scarf, $290 for a freaking scarf. But here's my favorite one. It's the neck koozie. This is a thing. It exists. It is called the neck guard. This protects you from snakes. This is a piece of, I don't know, what do you call that? Afghan knit? It's knit. And it goes around your neck. And it goes around your neck.
And you didn't bring Sean.
And it's just
I know.
6 inches high.
Sean-
It's
Sean-
not even, dude, you're not even buying the sweater. You're not buying the sweater. You're just buying the top 6 inches of the sweater. It's $160. It's a balaclava.
Does it
for your
protect
neck.
you from snake bites?
No. Well, I mean, only very, very young snakes. But look at that, dude. $160 for just like a foreskin.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
it totally makes
That's
it.
all it is. It's just a
You're
foreskin.
you've broken sleepy.
That's it.
Dude, walking around looking like a half poked out penis.
Seriously.
That's amazing.
That's all it is.
There's
Yeah.
some like
Check it out. I'm uncut. Yeah. The freaking pants are $1,100. It's ridiculous. The tracksuit, just the tracksuit jacket. You know how strong tracksuit jackets are.
Yeah.
Those are gonna be Snell.
Dude, they're gone if a cigarette touches
Right.
them.
right.
$490.
Yeah.
The tracksuit pants, $390.
Jeez.
Okay, here's my giant
Wait,
fuck
are
you.
they making you buy this shit to sell next to a
Oh, no.
scooter?
The day they tell me I am mandatorily required to buy this shit is the day Triumph becomes a Vespa dealer.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just gonna let you know right now, and I will live up to that.
I hear you.
Okay.
You know, having been
The
to
problem is I don't think Triumph will go along with it.
yeah.
Oh,
Right? So here we go, guys. I'm a big fan. You guys have been in my shop. You've seen those cotton. I gave you guys some of these cotton gloves with the
Yeah.
rubber palms and the whole deal. Those are really nice. These are the not nice versions. These are Spiral. So Spiral is factory workers gloves. They use them in Japan.
Oscar wants to know what you guys are smoking.
Yeah, we're just drinking it.
Yes. Yeah.
But the Spiral gloves, they're about $3 a pair,
Easy.
$2 a pair.
Or a pack.
Yeah, you can buy it by the whole pack.
Oh, yeah.
These are really low grade. The Spiral glove, which still says Spiral on it, but then it's also been silk screened with the Vespa logo and a snack, and then the number 25 because it's 2025, I guess, is $180
Yeah.
for a
Insane.
cotton knit glove. That is literally the same thing that the guy who unpacks the furniture at the mattress shop
Yeah.
wears because OSHA says he has to.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't say 2025 on it. And
Wesley Witt
or
says we got
snack.
his wife laughing.
Oh, sounds like she's a big fan of the snack.
A snag.
I like the snack. A very sneaky snack.
somewhere there's an
I'll sneak up on
underground
you.
club in like Rome or something where everybody
Yeah.
buys this crap.
Yeah, but
Oh, dude, I can't believe that the website doesn't go.
do you know what? The only person smiling,
there's like a
the only person smiling in this entire operation, because Vespa has systematically, surgically removed smiles
Right.
from their marketing department.
yeah.
I like how, like, if you look though, if you are gonna do
Yeah.
fashion, like they have a tiny nod Like the
Is-
second one is kind of like the quadrophenia fucking jacket, but overblown. And
You mean the
like,
snake long puffer
That's
coat?
exactly the fucking face I'd be making if I spent that kind of money on that
You-
bullshit.
Damn straight.
Oh wait! I got a new slogan
And
for
I
him.
had to wear that. I'd be like, I hate this.
You meet the saddest people
On a Vespa. You do. The only people smiling are the off-brand Chinese designers
right?
that sold this out. That got somebody in Italy to buy a crate of these, or whatever. This is. Look at that. The dude.
It's
The
not-
dude looks like a taper candle,
It's not.
right? He
He's
looks
like a Willy Wonka.
And do you know what he
Yeah.
would look like riding that bike?
Nah.
He would look like a fuck knuckle.
Yeah.
Like the
There's
guy
no
just
way.
looks.
How would you sit on a
He looks
fucking?
like a dipshit.
I think,
And the zipper, right? Yeah.
I
come
think
on.
Vespa paid $129 each.
Oh
for
no,
those.
they didn't pay that much for it.
Again,
They're
how
marking it up by 100%.
Right.
How
10,000.
dumb do you have to be like, I'll take two of those,
Well,
Yeah,
it's,
right.
You know,
one for me and the wife.
Especially like let's one
There's-
more thing. If you're gonna ride on a Vespa or anything
Yeah.
that goes more than 1 mile an hour,
Right.
oh yeah.
do you want a white billboard to collect whatever's gonna hit
know
you on said?
No,
thing?
this is for people who don't ride.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I
right.
really don't want? Those fucking pants to get caught in bullshit.
Exactly.
Oh, look, we can buy these butcher's cloaks and then put snake on
Right.
it.
Snake.
Like somebody-
Snake.
Somebody
John, you're such a
somewhere-
snake. You're
Thing is,
such a silly
they've sold
snake.
they've sold like 3 of these, so they think it's a good deal.
Okay, I bought a truckload of Vespa leftover merch about 15 years ago. And what I can tell you is you see the sizing thing at the bottom?
Yeah,
John, what's not there?
XXL.
Yeah.
And the
There's no
problem
double
is,
XL.
is that XL is already an M here.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, no,
that XL's a medium.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I promise you,
it's something in a protein.
Vespa don't come in husky sizes.
So
There are no
It's all carbohydrates.
big and tall.
they're
Right.
like the extra small. You don't have to worry about shrinking because
Right.
it's physically impossible.
Oh, yeah.
The
Get any
fibers
smaller.
are already small.
It's
No,
no.
no.
Extra small fits your extra small wouldn't fit your dog.
Extra small fits GI Joe.
No,
Right.
dude, my dog.
The little
would-
ones.
Your
yeah.
dog would be like a double
Yeah.
XL.
This is just ridiculous. So the point being, here's to you
Yeah,
for your $14,000 snack
snake.
and the bravery that it takes to sell a nylon puffer jacket. That, by the way, I wore my nylon puffer jacket
Oh,
today.
yeah.
Got it at Aldi for $19.
You know,
Yeah.
you know,
Love
the
it dearly,
The
and it
funniest
has a
part
hood.
is the only people I've ever met that have bought a 946
Mhm.
have gotten like the smoking deal of the century because people are like, "Fuck this, get it off my." It's like the Bieber of special editions.
Tom, we sold 3 of the 946 Year of the Bunny editions,
Oh, I missed the
full
I
boat,
missed the bunny.
and they waited in line to get them.
Damn.
So just when you think,
Yeah.
nobody would ever pay full price for that, 3 people in Clevelandia did.
It did have a bunny on it though.
Hmm.
The bunny's not a snake.
Do you know what it didn't have? It didn't have clear coat.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It didn't have 30 horsepower.
Ron's making up other
Right.
stickers.
It just had stickers on it.
Yeah.
Like that's what it was. This is just one of those things. where,
Oscar
like,
said
oh.
they're following the new Jaguar advertising.
Yes, the new Jaguar advertising is equally. I just think it has to be. We're not really trying to advertise the product. We're trying to be so crazy that people talk shit about us on social media, and that's how we're going to get our hits. Because the last 6 months of the Piaggio advertising campaign, the comments section of Instagram was basically like, "Who are these guys, and what have they done? What have they done with the scooter company?"
Right.
And the Jaguar ad got play because it was so senseless. It's just so stupid.
Oh.
So
We've hit Dadaism.
Dadaism, right? That's exactly the idea. It's
Da
just
da da.
Yeah.
duh.
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
That's
dun,
fair.
I get
Da
it.
da da.
dun, 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 dun.
That's fair.
Da da da.
I do most of los. I don't know the words to that one, but I've heard it like twice.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that was that. That happened.
That was a moment.
I'm thinking about
Is it-
buying the neck cover though, man.
Just buy the neck cover.
Yeah,
just
there's
to
a
be like,
snack on
just to
it.
be like, it's got a snack.
Yeah.
You see this? $160. Do you know what the neck? You know what the neck cover is? It's a dickie, basically, right?
Right.
It's a dickie, but without the collar part.
It's
It's
not
so-
even a dickie.
It's a third of a dickie. What you
It's a
can do
circumcised dickie.
is, well, it's just the foreskin.
Stop
But the
dicking
idea
with
is
me.
you could put that on and people would think you threw down the $750 for the whole sweater.
You're right.
And for only $180, you can fool them into thinking you bought the whole $900 sweater.
That's all of Instagram in one fucking thing.
I mean,
That really is.
I mean,
That is the
next-
entire of the internet.
The next question
Right.
is who the hell is going to recognize the fact that it should be a $750 sweater?
The whole well,
Like one guy.
I know a guy.
Who knows a guy?
I'm not going to go too deep in this because he's going to figure out we're talking about him.
Eh.
But I know a guy who goes to parties where guys go because they buy a certain particular brand of $10,000 sport coats. And these guys get together at social events for people who are the guys who buy these $10,000 sport coats. And that's how they network with each other and
then
get
circle jerk.
great deals.
So Sleepy.
Yeah.
You remember that conversation we had you had a couple of weeks ago? It was, who
For
the hell's buying this crap?
Sport
Yeah.
coat.
And
For
I-
sport
And I
coat.
mentioned those fucking seats that I had to fuck around with in my front stoop
Yeah.
forever. They were worth about $4,000 a piece, but they were ripped up like cat shit.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's architect parties all over again.
It's just that kind, and that's the kind of thing where that's so not in my league.
It's so not part of what I ever want to do.
No, it's
Like,
the
in my life
opposite.
ever.
Do you think though, like there's that one guy who is like a dishwasher at a Chinese restaurant, but he saved up the money to buy the $10,000
That's
coat.
his thing.
You know,
He's
to
like
go to the
super
10
fucking
because that's
into
what
it.
his,
you
that
know,
was his
I
life's
knew
dream
a
is to be in the
guy.
$10,000
I knew a guy in
coat
New
club.
Orleans,
and he
that
sits
had-
at home just looking at the stitching and fucking. Oh,
yeah.
No, it's on a mannequin that sits there in his living room.
Oh, I
it's
almost bought a
fucking-
bike rollers off that dude on Clark Avenue. He tried to lock me in his basement, that fucking dude, man. Seriously. I told you guys that shit, right? That fucking guy with the Nazi uniform. I'm like, fuck, I have to get out of this house, but I took the rollers.
Okay, you guys know I've owned Harleys,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I don't own a single Harley Davidson T-shirt.
Right.
I don't own a single Harley Davidson jacket. I do own a pair of Harley Davidson Chuck Taylors.
I have a Harley Davidson clock.
You have a Harley Davidson clock, right? Those Chuck Taylors I got $31 closeout,
Yeah.
Parts Unlimited catalog, and they are the best I've ever had. They are leather, like rough out leather Chuck Taylors, and they are great, wonderful, perfect build quality. I love them dearly.
Yeah.
$31. I can't look at the Triumph catalog and look at their $1,200 jacket and go, wow, I really want to have that. And it's a leather, nice, real cool jacket.
But it's not like a fucking. If I'm paying $1,200, I'm buying a fucking airbag suit from RST Racing. I'm not buying a fucking fashion coat.
Right.
Fuck,
That's exactly right.
that made
exactly
me mad.
right.
I just
Right.
got riled up over that.
Well, but I just saw Leo Vinci's having their 70th anniversary.
yeah,
And Leo Vinci's like, oh, 70th anniversary. And I don't know, for people that haven't paid attention to motorcycles in the past 5 years, exhaust systems used to be like 18 inches long.
yeah. Now this is it.
And now that beer can,
I just
Yeah.
put this on my Tuano.
Right.
It sounds fucking. In
You know,
fact, I think the echoes are still fucking out there
And
bouncing
it
off
only
of shit.
it only costs $1,500 MSRP.
that's the point.
Yeah.
The point is exhaust systems got 80% shorter and 300% more
Dude,
expensive.
So I lucked out. Like this dude bought it.
Yeah.
Probably what I'm gonna end up doing too, and sold it because he's like, "Fuck." But I got the full titanium one, right? So
Right.
the pipe itself weighs like
Yeah.
and
it actually
pound.
weighs negative.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, I'm like, okay, so this thing has to have some sick engineering,
Right.
And it's like you can tell it's mandrel bent tube,
Sure.
and then 1.2 millimeter micron of like meshing welded to
Really?
the inside of the
Oh,
tube.
just a spark arrestor.
and then the inside is just like
just nothing.
yeah. So
just a
it's
tube.
just a tuned
Just a
megaphone
tube.
of noisitude.
Right. Right. It's not a two-stroke. It doesn't care about back
No.
pressure, so to speak. The computer takes care of that.
And the bike's fast enough that I should be in front of most people, so
Right.
I'm cool.
You're fine. You're fine. You just don't want to lead the ride
Yeah.
with all the people behind you.
No, I do.
We
Fuck
put you at the
them.
back.
Oh yeah,
we're
you do
going to
that.
put you at the back.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
my ears are fine.
But I was shocked when I saw how much money they wanted for, a slip-on
yeah.
that is exactly the size of a
And,
fleshlight.
Leo Vinci's doing.
Yeah.
They killed. They went from being kind of like a mediocre, like sometimes high end brand, sometimes low.
Yeah.
And then they came in the mid range,
Mhm.
but they figured out that if they started copying these fucking high end pipes, like getting on the instead of putting out another fucking 1984 giant can,
Right.
So now that's LIV live pipes,
Yeah.
which is like their sport
Really?
edition. And so $340 for a carbon fiber, nice thing, all the different models that looks just like the arrows and the $1,300 whatever.
Yeah.
So almost every fucking bike for sale now you see will be a live pipe on the side of it.
I will show you a little bit of my age, but 30 plus years ago,
Yeah.
if you had a Leo Vinci pipe on your scooter, you were poverty.
Yeah.
That was the least amount of money you could spend
No,
and
no.
have a pipe.
No, Ceto Plus.
That's totally different kind of a pipe.
Eh.
It's a totally different kind. But the Leo Vinci claimed to be an expansion chamber, but what it was is it was just a one hit stamped this side and a one hit stamped this side, and it was welded together.
Yep.
In the most, I don't know if you've ever seen like doctors that go to medical school and stuff. There'll be those plastic mannequins with all the organs that come out.
Yeah.
Well, the stomach was the Leo Vinci pipe, and they even painted it like a tan color.
But you know what? So this the
was
current
terrible.
trend of like just basically having open pipes.
Yeah.
They made mediocre pipe companies be able to produce a halfway decent pipe because there's nothing fucking.
I was
to
gonna
it.
say,
Like as long as they can make the squiggly outside bend
Yeah.
and wrap a piece of carbon fiber around it, you pretty much got exactly the same thing, unless you get to the titanium. shit,
Okay.
then whatever.
But okay, 30 years ago, what were we doing? We were taking factory exhaust systems, cutting the back of it off,
Yeah.
removing everything inside.
Yep.
Right, either with the use of extremely long drill bits or unwelding.
What about stunners?
right?
They're probably like shorties have been a thing forever. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but-
12 o'clock fatter.
But with carburetors, that didn't work.
Right.
But now with computers, it
Yeah,
works.
totally
Yeah.
works.
So all the things that you couldn't do with carburetors, your bike would run like shit if you put a 4-into-1 open header in it. It would only run at full chat. It would only run at wide open throttle,
Right.
hence drag pipes. Now they can have that, broken exhaust, that exhaust that is just the outside of an exhaust.
Yeah.
And they could put it on a bike and the computer goes, I got this.
Yep.
It's fine. It'll idle.
And the two-step kids love it because it goes blah, 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 like that. And it's fucking great. So
But it still costs as much as the old pipe
Yep.
that had engineering and a
Yep.
power valve and all kinds of shit in it. And it was $1,200
But here's
bucks.
the
And now
thing,
it's
like
more.
I had
Yeah.
to have one. Why? Because I'm a
Right.
fucking sucker like every other dude.
God,
That's you
man.
start to see these things. You're like, I want my bike to look like that too. I want
Oh,
to be
that
cool.
FTR, that Indian that showed up's got a Bassani on it. And when I saw what it cost, I lost a little bit of breath.
Yeah, you did
And-
all right.
And the good news was the guy brought the original,
Benny Pisani.
the guy brought the real pipe and like the original stuff. And he goes, oh, well, I got the Dynatune
Great.
kit on
Now I've
it
got
too.
satisfaction
And I
stuck
was
in my
like,
head. Thanks.
I wonder how this is going to be.
Yeah.
I just wonder because,
Yeah, oh yeah.
uh,
If he loaded a real tune, it could be cool.
a tuning in a can, if somebody sells you a tune that is just the strategic use of resistors that you put in to lie to your stock factory computer, you probably don't have much of a tune there.
No.
But if somebody actually does a proper tune where they are either supplementing your factory ignition system,
Well, you want to tune like I have the
Yeah.
Gabbro tune for the
Yeah.
up map on my Tuono, and the Gabbo tune. You tell it like what airbox you have, what exhaust you have, and
Exactly.
then they've dyno tuned an actual Tuono.
a
to
whole
those
lot
things,
of
you know?
a whole lot of different things. I always get concerned when somebody's like, okay, well, here's your pipe and here's your 3 resistors that go in to hide your sensors for this, that, and the
Yep.
other thing.
Mhm.
That's never a great tune.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
That's usually not going to make a lot more power. That's usually going to make a lot
I
more
don't
noise.
understand why the head pipe's glowing red now.
Right. Well, that's just, come on, Tom. Heat makes power.
Heat makes power.
Heat
I
makes
wonder
power.
if there's a tune for a Versys. There got to be, right?
There's absolutely.
Oh,
I
yeah.
guarantee it.
Interesting just to do
Yeah.
a little upgrade like
Yeah,
that.
man.
Yeah, I
Two-wheel,
absolutely guarantee it.
two-wheel dyno tuners.
Yeah.
You send in your ECU.
Wow.
And that's the thing too, is it's nice when they have that where you're just like mail the ECU in,
Mhm.
you get your
I don't
ECU
even want to
back.
change anything. I just,
Right.
but if I could just get a tune for,
Yeah, that's
you
the
know,
idea.
Yeah.
keep the same pipe, keep
you
everything,
can.
but just make it make more sense.
Absolutely.
You can also do free stuff. Like they'll tell you, like if you drill certain holes in the airbox, they have a tune for that, so you can do like your home built like mods, and they'll
So you
still
can lean
tune
it out and then adjust the timing on your fuel injector.
Yeah,
Yes.
whatever, dude. That's
Yes.
what they do.
Absolutely.
That's-
Yeah, absolutely. And I've had a couple of different bikes where I've done that. Even on my V7, my Mark 1. I sent it in. I sent them in, and it was under $200. I sent it in. They did a reprogram, sent me back my factory ECU, my factory device, but they had changed it.
But if you're actually like a dude who really like, if you don't really understand the shit,
Yeah.
don't touch it.
Right.
But if you really are a guy that's like somehow
Yeah.
trained on it, whatever, like this system, this up map for my bike,
Yeah.
it has a an app, and
Yeah.
you can change every fucking.
Oh, you
parameter.
can-
Believe me, I ain't touching
You
one.
can
thing
go
on
in there
it,
and
but-
ruin it.
Yeah, right.
I promise you.
Oh, yeah.
You can go in and ruin it.
But-
But on
But
mine,
can't you, like, isn't there a way to just restore default?
Yeah, you
know what I mean?
can, but I, you know,
Mm.
Fuck with it. Oh, it's messed up. We're just
yeah,
Go
of
back to
course,
factory
of course.
default.
But I'm just saying, like
but
it
once
takes
you
a
spent the money, you don't want to go back to factory default because why'd you
Yeah.
spend the money in the first
Yeah,
place?
right.
So,
start over.
Well, no, but you can
Right.
save a tune. Like I have the Gabbro tune
Oh, yeah.
saved. I can fuck with it. But
Yeah.
my thing is like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right.
Like I don't even know. And also you get impatient and then you change too much and then you don't even know what changed
And-
positively and stuff. So
once you become the owner of that, then you also need to be the owner of a big piece of tape on your ECU and on your 3-pin plug or your OBD plug
yeah, do
that
not
specifically says, "Do not, under any circumstances,
plug this
update
into
my
any
app.
system. Yeah,
Update that.
don't even plug this.
Do
fucker
not
in,
update."
dude.
Right. I just that is. We've seen this at the shop.
Do not connect to pads.
Well, that's real,
That's
and
real.
it's a real thing, and we've done it where we've had a guy bring his bike in and drop it off and tell me, "Yeah, let's go ahead do full service on it,"
Yeah.
and then we do full service on it, and then the guy comes back and he's like, "Well, yeah, you know, because I got that Dyno Commander Power Redline Rex or whatever," and I'm like, "Why didn't you say something?"
Yeah.
That's gone now. That's gone. We updated your system to the most current software.
Yeah.
You're at version 18.3 right now, man, because you didn't tell us that you had that
Yeah,
done.
why would you know? You don't know.
Why would we know?
Yeah.
There's no external markings on it. It wasn't like we saw a big red ECU under the seat when we took the seat off. So yeah, be aware of that.
All right, we're at 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Fantastic. Perfect. All right. If that's all you got, my friends,
I think it is.
remember to ride fast and take chances. Play us out here, Johnny.
Bum 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 da da da
Oh, eject, eject, eject. Hit the red button. Get us out of here, Sleepy.